High slot, it's Carlson to Malkin. Took an awkward pass, got it back to Carlson. He pumps one, deflected just wide. Crosby tried to get a backhand swat with a tough angle, but it's kicked out to the far wall. Now cross-ice pass to Raquel. Over to his offside from Malkin. Out to the neutral zone it goes. Penguins have to reset again. Crosby will race after the loose puck. Top unit still out on the ice. 50 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. As Sid trying to get a pass off. It went off the skate of Dvorak. Now taking it as Hathaway into the Penguins zone. Down to the corner. He'll reverse it over to the far side. Second unit starts to come out on the ice for the Penguins. 35 seconds on the power play. Novak over the Flyers line to Malkin. Up to Chinikov. In the slot. Wrister. It's loose. Over to the far side. Now kicked over to the near corner. And played out by Philly. They'll clear it down to the Penguin zone.
Malkin stayed out there for one more push, and he set up Chinikov, who had just come off the bench and came downhill right down Main Street. Look out.
Now spring a pass to Chinikov and a off wide on an attempt on Dan Vladar. The Flyers pump it out into the Penguin zone. 10 seconds to go on their power play as Skinner has to stop the puck. That shot from Igor Chinikov is so fast, it's hard to read exactly where it went.
He might have caught the top of the glove of Vladar and then into the corner. You're right. It was a rocket.
Flyers dump it back into the Penguin zone after killing off the penalty. Now the Penguins turn it over. Drysdale pumps one wide of the net. That was fought off by Skinner. Near corner, Ben Kindle. The rookie will flip it off the end boards. He took a hard hit by Couturier. That was Owen Tippett as Philly from the neutral zone flips it back down into the Penguin zone. No score. Over 4 minutes gone. Chris Letang does a nice job evading a check from Trevor Zegras. Wotherspoon will collect on the near side of his own zone and retreat to cool things off a bit. There's 3 shots on goal so far in this one. The Penguins with 2 of them. Stretch pass ahead looking for Connor Dewar. It missed him. Goes all the way down to the Flyers, and this will be icing by the Penguins. 4.5 minutes gone in this hockey game. No score.
Shots 2-1 Penguins. Both their shots just came on that power play. And so, boy, you would really like to get one early on there and put the Flyers on their heels and get these fans what they wanted, a early 1-0 lead.
Face off to the right of Stuart Skinner. It'll be Dvorak against Nola Chari. Drop of the puck, Flyers win it. On the near side, it's a wrister that didn't get through traffic. Penguins take it up the other way. Connor Dewar will swat it down to the Flyers' end. Around the boards, Vladar plays it up to the near side. Just went over the glove of Nola Chari. Now he takes the loose puck and fires it on net, and a pad save from Vladar. Lizotte tries to keep the puck alive along the far side. It gets tumbled out to the slot. Now kept alive by Achari. He plays keep away, sends it to the near boards, but Philly kicks it out to the neutral zone. They get it to Lizotte. He's playing in his first game since March 14th against Utah. He had been dealing with an upper body injury. Erik Karlsson will ladle it down to the Flyers' end near corner. Played off the end boards to the far side by Ristolainen. He works it out to the neutral zone. All the way down to the Penguins' end it goes. But it slows down and up for icing. 5.5 minutes gone in this game. No score. Flyers have it. High slot. Wrister coming. Saved by Skinner to deny Noah Cates of a shot from the high slot. He keeps this game scoreless. 14.5 to play in the first.
Well, quick observation in the first 5 minutes and change here. It's pretty obvious. Playoff hockey's a different speed, right? You have the preseason, then you have the regular season, and now in the postseason, you can see all your decisions need to be quicker, and they need to be accurate, and you need to expect the unexpected. Nobody's going to turn away from a check, especially early on in the series. And so you better be dishing out some checks, but you're going to take your fair share also.
Sidney Crosby taking the draw, playing in his 176th playoff game as Noah Cates is offside entering the Penguin zone. 14:21 to go in this first period. Penguins and Flyers are scoreless.
Last time the Penguins had the Lizotte line out there was some shenanigans going on towards the bench. While you were watching the puck, Joe, I had the luxury of watching what was going away from the puck, and that was Konechny with a couple of whacks on Dewar and a couple of whacks into the behind the legs of Lizotte, and that's playoff hockey, right? You push that envelope as far as you possibly can without taking a penalty. Sometimes you will take a penalty, but there's just a whole lot of nastiness going on out there.
You often hear a couple different oohs and ahs when not much is going on around where the puck is at. Like a heavy hit there by Ricard Raquel on one of the Flyers. Here's Ryan Shea, far point. Pass too hot, past Malkin. Rolls over to the near corner. Novak fishes it out, brings it up the near wall, went for a centering pass, but it popped off a Flyer skate. Quick shot on net that Vladar is able to steer wide with a head save.
He didn't see that puck at all. That shot by Clifton, it went through about 3 different bodies. It was a knuckle puck, and it just caught him right off the forehead like he was trying to head a soccer ball.
Malkin charges into the Flyers zone to keep the puck alive in the near corner. Elmer Soderblom comes racing in. Sanheim just threw a whack at Malkin, and now another one as those two continue to jab at it. Meanwhile, the Flyers crash the net, and Skinner makes the save over to the left side. We got a whistle blown here.
We might get a penalty here against the Penguins. And it's Chris Letang. Is this for holding the stick, I think?
56 Pittsburgh, 2 minutes tripping.
Like I said, tripping on Chris Letang.
So the Penguins will be shorthanded for the first time tonight when we come back. It's scoreless with 13:23 to go in the first on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Want to rack up some points? Join #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at club1rewards.cochrane.com. #1 Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hi, I'm Marcus Leto. I'm the co-creator of the Halo universe and the creator of the Master Chief. Kent State really taught me to think like a designer, not just to build visuals, but to build worlds. I mean, that was all this fire in my belly that I just wanted to kind of create something that was different. The program here really helped give me the tools to enter the workforce, and I still look back to Kent State as a foundation that allows me now to do the kind of stuff that I can do.
Well, despite having the worst power play in the NHL this regular season, the Flyers heated up over the last 11 games with a 25% power play. And they're on the man advantage for the first time tonight. 13:23 to go in the first, a scoreless game, and the Penguins shorthanded with Chris Letang in the box for tripping. Nola Chari, Erik Karlsson, Blake Lizotte out there on the PK along with Parker Wotherspoon. Achari wins the draw. Wotherspoon couldn't clear it. Philly's got it near side of the cage. It's swatted over to the wall. Shoveled back down and around the boards. Martone tried to set up Cates. Luckily, he couldn't make a connection on it. Puck over to the high slot now to the near circle for Forster. Above it. He'll shovel it. High slot. Get it over to Drysdale. Back to Forster. Forster downstairs. Slinging shot from Martone. Missed wide. Kicked off the far corner boards and all the way down to the Flyers' end. This is Porter Martone's first game against the Pittsburgh Penguins. 6th overall pick last season's draft. After finishing his year with Michigan State, he's picked up 4 goals with his new team, the Philadelphia Flyers. They dump it down to the Penguins' end. Skinner slows it down. Parker Wotherspoon clears it up and out into the Flyers' zone. 70 seconds to go on the Penguins' PK. Scoreless game, 12.5 to play in the first. Jamie Drysdale skates it up to center ice, then flips it back for Owen Tippett. He'll accelerate over the Penguins line. Backhand chip it down to the far corner with a circle for Konechny. He plays it up to Michkov at the wall, takes it to the point, and then buries it deep. Rolls over to the near corner. Tippett collects, pitches it back in behind the net. Shea tried to cut it off, but it's kept by Philly to the high slot for Ristolainen. He'll walk the blue line to the near point Konechny. Konechny wrister deflected, saved by Skinner, who saw the redirection the entire way. 39 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. 12 minutes left in this scoreless first.
Oh, that's a great save. That's a tough save for a goaltender. That high slot redirect by Dvorak. And Konechny, a forward that drifted out to the point, playing kind of a defenseman on the power play position. Right-hand shot. That's all he's doing is looking for the stick at Dvorak. It's a really good deflection, but perfectly read by Stuart Skinner, and no rebound.
Skinner's sixth save of the night. 12 minutes to go in this first period. Penguins win the draw. Wotherspoon takes it to the corner and clears it down. 30 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Ristolainen skates it up ice, then flips it back to Tippett again. Tippett to Dvorak over the Penguins line, near side of the circle, drags, fires, saved by Skinner, they score. Crashing towards the net, but they wave it off automatically, and now another gathering to the right of Stuart Skinner.
And Skinner's hurt. Yeah, hold the phone here. Stuart Skinner is down, and he's not getting up. The way that Dvorak went in, it was almost like he was free-falling, like he had jumped off a bridge, the way he was. Here's the call.
Goal due to incidental contact with the goal.
Stuart Skinner's still down. And he went from being on one knee down to both knees. Now he's up, standing, as Dvorak did a little curl and drag and got around Parker Wotherspoon and just what's the best way? He just drove his way into the goal.
Threw his body.
He's violent. Like, he's out of control going into the goal. And I don't think there's going to be any kind of challenge here at all. That was just an awkward play, and it looks like Stuart Skinner's going to be okay. But that's going to the net in a playoff style by Dvorak.
Penguins athletic trainer Kevin Elliott with a quick chat with Skinner, and we play on. Skinner's still in net. Single digits left on the Penguins PK. We are scoreless as Blake Lizotte with the puck will dish it back. Standing up and out of the box comes Chris Letang. And a clear by the Penguins as Blake Lizotte's stick went flying. Not sure what happened over there. But we play on with 11:11 to go in the first period. No score. Both teams killing off a penalty. On the stick of Ristolainen, sends it ahead to the neutral zone. It's chipped down to the Penguins' end, near corner by Glendening. Ryan Shea taken down by Couturier, but Clifton takes the puck, sends it along the far side as Crosby sweeps it out to Chinakhov, dancing over the Flyers line. Got poked over to the near wall, and then Chinakhov takes a heavy hit from Couturier. Crosby from the far corner went for a slinging centering pass. He gets it to Girard, far point, who dances around Glendening. High slot, backhand shot tumbled wide of the net. Over to the far corner, Sanheim plays the rebound, shovels it out to the neutral zone all the way down to the Penguins' end. And more of a gathering as Chinakhov got taken down by Glendening, and everybody's tied up in front of the Flyers bench right now. No score, 10.5 to play in the first.
You know, there's a bit of a saying in playoffs, and it really applies here. Initiate, don't retaliate. And for Igor Chinakhov, welcome to the playoffs. As he got to a loose puck just below us in the Philly zone, he dumped it in and let up. You know who didn't let up? Sean Couturier. Kaboom. A major hit right into the sternum of Igor Chinakhov. Chinakhov's a tough dude. We've seen him take some hits before, and he bounced right up. But you can see what the Flyers want to do. They want to get in those scrums. They want all that stuff after the whistle. And they're initiating it right now. Now, stick up for yourself, stick up for your teammates, but do it in a way where you're not the only one sitting in the box.
Sean Couturier, the most experienced playoff Philadelphia Flyer. It's his first appearance since 2020 after making it to the postseason 5 times in his first 9 years with the Flyers. Still no score, 10:15 to go as Malkin connects with Michkov in front of the Flyers bench. It's dumped down to the Penguins' end. Skinner plays it over to Letang near side, now to Raquel, who flipped it out to the neutral zone. Michkov reaches out, gloves it down, works it the other way from center ice, but coughed it up to Letang. We'll go D to D with Wotherspoon. Under 10 to play in this first. We're scoreless. Pass goes off a Flyers skate. Penguins take it back. They're being outshot 6-3 with 2 of the shots coming on the power play. No score in this first. 9:45 to go in the opening period. Dumped down to the Flyers' end, but Philly quickly reverses it. Trevor Zegras flips it down to the Penguins' end far corner. Elmer Soderblom plays it off the end boards. Now over to the far side for Wotherspoon, who will flick it all the way out to the neutral zone. Mantha gets it over the Flyers line, chips it down to the corner. They kick the stick hanging around the boards as it was Nick Seeler getting sandwiched by a couple of Penguins, but now Philly's back in the Penguin zone. It's Tippett with a turnaround shot near circle and then a backhand attempt on Skinner that he stuffed out with a shoulder save.
What a move that was there by Owen Tippett. Led the team in goals with 28. Spinorama move, was down by the goal line, and he threw a backhand right on Skinner. Had to be sharp.
9 minutes to go in the first. Penguins working it through the neutral zone. Here's Crosby with some momentum. Got tied up, though, by Drysdale. His helmet goes off. Far corner. Penguins rim it up to the point. Now Clifton. Wrister just wide of the net as it kicks the helmet of Drysdale, and he is livid with the official right now.
Yeah, and Drysdale continuing to play in the game with no bucket, with no helmet. And they're going to talk about if Drysdale's going to get a penalty here. Now, the other part of it was his helmet ripped off his head, which is also potentially a penalty. Hold the phone here.
Well, the official's talking in between the penalty boxes right now, but let's wait and see if we hear an answer here. Drysdale connected with Crosby when his helmet went off.
Here we go.
Still waiting for the official to make the call. They're discussing amongst each other. Here we go.
Pittsburgh 87, minor penalty for roughing.
Both going to go. Crosby and Drysdale 4-4 when we come back. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, brought to you by S&T Bank.
And whatever team drafts me, I'm grateful, whether it's the number 1 pick or whether it's the 199th pick.
Dreams are about to become a reality for the stars of college football. And SiriusXM NFL Radio is your guide on the path to the 2026 draft.
There are no two draft boards the same.
Listen to interviews with all the prospects, coaches, and general managers.
We're just trying to find the right guys.
And hear every pick of the 2026 draft on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
2-on-1.
It's coming down to the wire.
Out and across the lightning line, right circle Theodore. Theodore is checked by Hagel. 2-on-1 the other way.
Where every point can make or break a team's dream.
For Kucherov. Score! Kucherov!
The push to the playoffs.
The push to the playoffs.
Nathan McKinney's got some room. He scores!
Only one team can bring home the cup.
The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
SiriusXM 91. We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes, did it ever cross your mind saying like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process.
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91.
Well, neither team's been able to score on the power play so far tonight. Neither team's been able to score at all. We'll see what happens for the next 2 minutes with 4-on-4 hockey. 8:44 to go in this first period. A face-off in the Flyers zone. So again, Sidney Crosby in the box. 2 minutes for roughing. Jamie Drysdale in the box for the next 2 minutes for playing with his helmet off.
Well, the original call was interference, but now they changed it?
Okay. No, it still hasn't been listed. I didn't hear the original call.
I thought the referee gave the interference call.
You're right. Face off to the right of Ladar, and Philly wins the draw. 8:40 to go in this first. We've got no score. The Penguins being outshot right now 7-3. As the Flyers reset in their zone, played ahead to Sanheim. Now it's Ristolainen slinging it down to the Penguins end, around the boards to Carlson at the near wall. Shoveled it out to Malkin. Played it over to the far wall for Wotherspoon. He chipped it out down into the Flyers zone. And this goes all the way down.
Offside.
Offside
Penguins.
for the Penguins. Wow.
And they're going to call it a 3-line offside, which will bring it all the way to the Penguin zone. And a pass originated from inside the Penguin zone. And Tommy Novak half a stride offside.
Face off to the left of Skinner with 1:35 to go. A 4-on-4 hockey. 8:19 left in the scoreless first. Penguins send it to the end boards as Carlson will collect in behind Skinner's net. Up ahead to Wotherspoon. He tried to feed it to Novak, but Philly taps it back the other way. Zegras in the Penguin zone. Wrister, glove save by Skinner. A little bit of a rebound there, but he kept it right in front of his breadbasket. He was able to corral it and keep this game scoreless. 8:06 to play in the first.
Can't do that again right there. It's an errant play in the neutral zone. That 50 feet of real estate from blue line to blue line is so valuable in the playoffs. Just a simple mismanaged puck, quick counterattack by the Flyers, and the terrible gap control by Erik Karlsson. He's just backing, and Zegras used it as a screen. That's a big save by Skinner that's going to fly underneath the radar, but you can't give that guy that shot again.
Zegras with career-high numbers for goals, assists, and points. 26 goals, 41 points, 41 assists, 67 points for his new team in the Philadelphia Flyers. Here's Raquel with a wrister and a shoulder save from Vladar. Rebound to the far circle. Tippett will play it up to center ice. Take it over the Penguins line, far side. He'll drag and fire. Another save by Skinner, but a rebound, far circle. It's hacked and whacked at, and finally taken away by Karlsson. They'll bring it up ice to the neutral zone.
Skinner's hurt. He took that one up around the collarbone, maybe underneath the chin, but the buckle on the mask popped. He's going to get some professional courtesy here. I don't know if he can do the repair himself, if it was just a pop of the buckle or those little plastic buckles that snap onto the mask. They'll break very easily. You know, have to get a new buckle put on unless it's just the strap itself, which I think it's the latter.
Been a very interesting first period for Stuart Skinner. We're going to face off at center ice. 7:29 to go in this first. Still no score. 45 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey as Ben Kindle wins the draw. Chris Letang will play keep away in his own zone. And out to the Flyers' end it goes. But it'll be icing by the Penguins. 7:17 to go in the scoreless first.
Well, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. From right here in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation driving the next big play. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
It's the old 2-9er Phil Bourque. I'm Joe Brand. It's game one of round one. They're the Stanley Cup playoffs. Penguins here for the first time in 4 years. The Philadelphia Flyers here for the first time since 2020. Both teams finishing with 98 points. However, the Penguins securing second place in the Metro. The Flyers with third as Konechny steals the puck away, far corner of the Penguin zone. Defended by Girard, who got the puck free for a moment, but Dvorak shovels for it. Quick shot on net from behind that Skinner is able to stop and freeze. Keep it scoreless. 7 minutes to go in this first.
Well, I like Stu Skinner's compete. He's been hit underneath the chin off the mask. He's had Dvorak run into him. And you're right, eventful first period is a good word. Shots are 10-4. Boy, the Penguins have been stuck on that number 4 for a while, haven't they, Joe?
They were stuck on 3 for quite some time.
Okay.
As Philly swings it over to the near side. Forster plays it off the corner boards. As he gets shrugged into the wall by Chris Letang, it's squeaked out to the point. Taken by Sanheim. He'll send it around the boards, far corner. Played off the wall by Lazat. Worked it out. Letang jumped off his stick. Poked back in by Ristolainen. Both guys coming out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Spun over to the far corner. Couturier chips it down to the end boards. Letang will play it up to Russ. Bounced off his skate. Now he flips it out to the neutral zone. Lazat angling it down. He's got it in the Flyers zone. Far half wall. Stopped on a dime. Waiting for some troops to come over to the other side. But he got forced out to the neutral zone. Dumped back into the Flyers end. Vladar will play it. 6:15 to go in this first, no score. Couturier near side. Got a partial hit from Mantha. Now into the Penguin zone. 2-on-1. And it jumped off the stick of Michkov. Far circle. Here comes Chinakhov the other way. Flyers zone. Sets up Clifton. Back to Mantha. Downstairs. And it missed everyone. Goes over to the far corner. Chinakhov throws one towards the net. That goes wide on the attempt from Clifton. Mantha plays it at the near point. Shovels it down to the corner. As Malkin was all tied up by York in front of the net. Chinakhov comes away with the puck far side. Flipped it up to the point for Shea. D to Clifton. He'll send it off the end boards to Mantha. Near side of the cage. Works to the far side. Went for a turnaround backhand shot. It goes wide of the net, and now it's flipped out to the neutral zone by Philly.
Well, the Penguins had 3 shots in the first 10 minutes of this game, and only 1 shot since.
5.5 to play in the first. Still no score. Penguins back in the Flyers zone. It's Novak far corner in behind the net. Flutters it up to Crosby at the near corner. He'll send it deep. Played back up the near wall by the Flyers. They get it to Zegras, who shovels it out to Forster. He'll chip it down to the Penguins' end far corner. Chase after it. Wotherspoon able to keep it away from him, boxing him out, brings it up to the far side. Now they go rink wide to Carlson. He'll cut over the Flyers line. Chip it back to Crosby. Near half wall. One arms it down to the corner. Backhand tough angle shot went wide. Wotherspoon plays the rebound. Dumps it back down to Crosby. In behind the net for Raquel. He'll go for a centering pass that went off the skate of Ristolainen. Flyers take it the other way. Zegras chips it out to the far side. He was knocked down by Wotherspoon. All the Flyers can do is dump it back down to the Penguins' end. 4:35 to play in this first. Still no score from Pittsburgh. Penguins being outshot 10-4. Here's Lizotte, Flyers zone, near corner. Cuts over to the far side. Slammed into the boards by Sanheim. Dvorak couldn't clear it, though. Achari will chip it down to the goal line as Lizotte hunts for the puck. Along the end boards, still chipped over to the near corner. Penguins trying to keep hold of it. It's Achari to Lizotte in behind the net now, and he got taken down by Dvorak.
Probably should have been a penalty, no call.
Connor Dewar, far corner. Trying to labor through to the near side, but he lost the puck on his efforts as Konechny gets slammed into the boards by Noel Acciari.
Now Sanheim taking a couple of whacks at Acciari, and that's initiating, not retaliating by Noel Acciari. What a shift by the Penguins' fourth line.
Penguins are back in the Flyer zone. Soderblom whips a quick shot that's sticked away by Vidar, and now another heavy hit from Mantha on Konechny. But the Flyers work it out to the Penguins zone. It's chased down by Sam Girard. Former Colorado Avalanche that played 67 games while winning the Stanley Cup in 2022. Now with his new team of the Penguins, plays it ahead to Soderblom. Got it over the Flyers line, but it was quickly kicked out. They swing it all the way down to the Penguins' end. Far corner, 3:25 to go in this scoreless first. Pumped around the near boards to Mantha. He took a somewhat hard hit from Cates, but was able to handle it. Now Ryan Shea will dump it down to the Flyers' end far corner. Played by Vladar and behind his net. Rims it up the far side. It does get angled out into the Penguins zone as Connor Clifton will chase it down. Final 3 minutes of this first period. Still no score. Penguins being outshot 10-5. Neither team successful on the power play. Neither team successful on 4-on-4 hockey. Philly dumps it down to the Penguins end. Shea races after it near corner. Dug out by the Flyers. Centering pass to Cates. Luckily it was stripped away, but Philly still got it. Far circle. Wrister glove save by Stuart Skinner to deny Sanheim above the far circle. We're still scoreless. 2:43 to go in the first period here from Pittsburgh. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Wake up to value at Get Go Cafe and Market. Mix and match your mornings with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. Choose 2 breakfast sandwiches stacked with egg, meat, and cheese on your choice of bagel, fluffy biscuit, or flaky croissant. Exclude steak and Impossible sandwiches. Fill up with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6 at Get Go Cafe and Market, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Well, the battle of the Keystone State is still scoreless. 2:43 to go in this first period. Shots on goal in favor of the Flyers, 10-5. We'll get a face-off to the left of Stuart Skinner, who's had a pretty impressive opening period so far.
I thought the Penguins were a little nervy first few minutes of this game. last couple shifts, especially after the Lizotte line went out there and buzzed the tower. We've got some traction here. 2.5 to go in the first.
Chinikov hustling for the puck in the Flyers zone near corner. Crosby spins it over to the far side. Wotherspoon at the half wall chips it down to the corner as Rust gets crunched into the boards by Jamie Drysdale. Puck still pinned along the wall as Chinikov tries to dig it out. 2 Penguins and 2 Flyers along the far corner boards. Crosby works his way in there, tries to one-arm it up, but Philly takes it the other way. Hustling to the neutral zone, it's Tippett over the Penguins line near side, trying to cut through, kick towards the circle, shot by Sanheim went wide. And that was Drysdale as he'll race after to the bench. Flyers still with it, Penguins zone, down to the far corner, at the circle. Tough angle shot went wide. Played off the near boards. It's kept alive by Sealer as he goes shoulder to shoulder with Chinikov and sends the Penguins forward down. Under 2 to play in this first. We're still scoreless. As Carlson in behind Skinner's net takes his time with it. As the the Novak-Raquel-Malkin line takes the ice. Girard flips it to Malkin. Far point. Now to Novak in the circle. Played off the corner to Raquel, who will spit it up the near side. Novak collects, sweeps it up to Letang. D to deep Girard, far point. Novak in the high slot to the circle. Shot on net, got deflected above the net. Ricard Raquel pawed it down, got it to Novak at the far corner. Played off the end boards. It tumbles to the near side. Raquel tied up with Michkov going after the puck. Played up to the near wall. Novak's got it to Malkin at the hash marks of the circle. 65 seconds to go in this first. We're still scoreless. Novak keeps it alive. Sends it down to Raquel. Jumped over his stick. Played in behind the net. The Flyers have it. Malkin hunts for it and then throws a hard hit into Nick Sealer. But the Flyers still clear it down to the Penguins' end. Letang trying to work it to Soderblom. Letang falling down to the ice now as the Flyers fight for it in the far corner of the Penguins' end. 40 seconds to go in this first. It's Cates pitching it over to the near side. Played off the near wall by Anthony Mantha. Couldn't get it out. Now taken back by Denver Barkey. He'll shovel it down to the corner for Cates below the goal line. Gets crunched into the wall by Elmer Soderblom. And now Girard sends him there as well. Fight for the puck in the far corner. Soderblom boxing out Barkey for the puck with 20 seconds to go in this scoreless first. Tumbling puck along the far wall. Barkey trying to shovel it along the end board. Still tied up to the boards by Soderblom, who's not letting him get much room. Worked up the far wall. Kindle's got it. He'll carry it to center ice. Chip it off the far wall. Mantha tries to drag it into the Flyers' end. Little tangle up with Sanheim as it's pitched back to the Penguins' end. That'll do it for the first. So no score. 15 shots. 10 of them for the Flyers. And a whole bunch of hits. But no goals through the first 20 here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, not that it means a whole lot, but just as the scorekeeper has it, 16 hits for the Flyers, 8 for the Penguins. I think it's safe to say the Flyers were more physical in that. They had bigger hits. I love the Penguins game also. I thought they did a lot of things right in that game. Again, I didn't think they had the A game. Maybe a B+ game. That's it so far. But I don't know if the Flyers can bring that same intensity and that much hitting in the second period. It's tough to duplicate what you do out of the gate like that. I'm really curious to see how the second period plays out. The Penguins, I know for sure, are going to be a little bit tough on themselves and say, hey, boys, that's going to be our worst period of this whole hockey game if we're going to win it.
Ryan Metzer just popped into the booth. He'll have the first intermission report as the Penguins and Flyers are scoreless through 20 for the first game of the playoffs. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on.
you deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
There's a reason why I call the Battle of PA the cross-state hate, and you witnessed it in the first period. Brian Metzer here with you after one period of play. The Penguins and Flyers are scoreless, but it was a hot and heavy physical affair, knocking each other around pretty much every opportunity that they could. I don't think anybody had any room to breathe, because if you were on the ice, you were feeling the contact from the opposition. The Flyers ended up laying 18 hits in the frame to the Penguins 9. They outshot the Penguins 10-5. A couple of different penalties happened in the period of play. Ristolainen went early in the game for roughing. Chris Letang went for tripping at 6:37. Then we saw offsetting minors to Sidney Crosby and Jamie Drysdale at 11:16, and they kind of came together. Sid pulled Drysdale's helmet off. Drysdale went for interference, Sid for roughing, and it was a little mix and match there because he played without his helmet as well. Sid pulled that helmet off, so they both served some time. But overall, it was just a physical affair, what we anticipated would be the case between these two teams, and it was a lot of fun to watch. It's been a long time for playoff hockey coming to the Berg, obviously. This is a 4-year wait. The crowd is very into it. The Flyers' hate is pouring down from the crowd, and it was just, I think, a big exhale for this group to finally get back the players, fans, and everybody involved. But as I said, on the ice, very physical, just crushing each other every chance they get. And what's interesting is as you're going to the bench, they're just chopping each other, chopping behind the knee, little cross checks, etc. Flyers did score a goal in that period, but it was overturned for a goaltender interference. Dvorak crashed through Stu Skinner, and it did not stand. So nothing after one. When we come back, Hockey Talk with Anthony Mingione, who does work for a number of outlets covering the Philadelphia Flyers, and he joins me next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common App. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Exelitas, Duquesne Light Company, Kimberly-Clark, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
Tired of the cold and shoveling snow? Same. This year, make an easy escape from winter by switching to S&T Bank. With online and mobile banking, you are always in control. Set savings goals, track your budget, and transfer funds faster than you can save. Pina colada, please. With convenient locations and ATMs, we'll make planning your next tropical trip a breeze. Stop by your local S&T branch. Visit stbank.com or call 800-325-2265. Banking made easy so you can spend more time in the sun. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
And welcome back into our first intermission report, where the Pens and Flyers are scoreless after one period of play in Game 1 of this opening round matchup in the Battle of PA. Brian Metzer back here with you, and now happy to be joined by my good buddy Anthony Mingione. You know him as a writer for the Hockey Hot Stove. He's on Off the Post Radio. He's covered the Philadelphia Flyers for years. Ant, welcome back to the show. And my first comment, I thought WrestleMania was in Las Vegas tonight. I was witnessing a good bit of that here in Pittsburgh.
Well, you knew this game. You knew it was going to get physical right off the jump, Brian. You knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And you had texted me earlier today about just the nature of this being kind of a cool moment to see the big three of Pittsburgh in year 20 together, getting a chance to go up against their foes from across the state one more time. And I don't know that you and I had this on the bingo card when we last got together for one of these conversations, but kind of neat that it came to pass.
It is. It's really neat. It's, again, two teams that, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought we're not going to be postseason teams, and now here we are in the first round of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, and it's, again, it's so far the physicality of the game has been, exactly what we expected it to be. No love lost, obviously. New generation of younger Flyer players here in this case, but they certainly got the notes, the script for the series. To be physical, they have certainly gotten that so far.
Well, I'd say on the Philly side, having Rick Tocchet behind the bench probably helps. He's got a book on these guys in Pittsburgh. Obviously, he's lived it on both sides as a Flyer and a Penguin. What was his influence, you think, this season in getting that team ready for what was going to come in this first round series?
I mean, the preparation, in many ways, the latter part, the final 25 games of the regular season, Brian, really were an extended play. They've been in playoff mode pretty much this whole, between March, from late February through March into April. They were far behind. Everybody knows the 3.8% chance that Money Puck had put up for their chances, but they kept playing, they kept winning, and teams in front of them, started to, struggle down the stretch. And as a team, they just kept plowing forward and winning more games than they lost, and finally got to this point of the season where they got into a postseason position, and here they are.
Yeah, it's been crazy to watch the run that they went on, because obviously since March 10th, what you just talked about there, Ant, they were kind of dead in the water at that point, and that 3% chance of making the playoffs. But from that moment on, 14-4-1, they posted a .763 point percentage, and I know the Penguins kind of almost helped their cause getting them in a little bit, because they had a couple of big wins, one of them against those New York Islanders that may have actually demoralized them to knock them out.
Exactly, and the game prior, the Islanders had played the Flyers, and they lost 4-1 at home. So that was kind of like the Flyers kind of started it, and the Penguins basically was like a tag team finisher, so to speak, on the New York Islanders, and that allowed obviously Philadelphia to get themselves into postseason position. Again, biggest thing in the Flyers had spoken to this as well was that what kind of really pulled them together was a West Coast trip out in California where they won 3 in a row. Wasn't an easy trip. But they, to a man, and Tocchet as well, really kind of pointed to that as being one of the turning points where they started to think that, hey, we can do something here.
Yeah, it's just a remarkable run for them. I mean, the Penguins were in a very similar situation coming into the season at 7% chances of making the playoffs. At the Christmas break, they were third from the bottom in the East. So it's kind of kismet, I guess, that these two teams were the underdogs. They're meeting here in a big moment, and we all know it's going to be fun. And, Anth, I had a blast talking to you about it, and hopefully we can do it a couple more times before the season ends for one of these teams.
Absolutely, Brian. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, that is Anthony Mingione. Find him over on X at Anthony Mingione, all one word. As I said, he covers the Flyers for Hockey Hot Stove, and you can hear him on Off the Post Radio. When we come back here, news from around the league right here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone. Whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro, That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
Spun around the board, Sid to Brian Ross. Tough angle shot. He scores! Rusty Shakes are back, Pittsburgh.
50% off at the Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Russ here letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dog by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins live intermission report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins and Flyers scoreless after one period of play in Pittsburgh in this Battle of PA, Game 1. Brian Metzer back here with you, and a couple other Stanley Cup playoff games kicked off earlier in the afternoon. Just a short time ago, the Minnesota Wild finished off the Dallas Stars. They beat them 6-1. Matt Boldy had 2 goals and an assist in that one. Joel Eriksson Ek had 2 goals as well, and Jesper Wallstedt had 28 saves in that game, so pretty quality goaltending performance for him. And earlier in the afternoon, the Carolina Hurricanes finished off the Ottawa Senators 2-0, and that was Freddie Anderson getting the start in goal. People were wondering how he would fare getting back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. He was injured a lot this season, and he was, people waiting to see if Bussy was going to take his job. Well, he comes out and answers all the critics with a 2-0 shutout victory, and impressive stuff for them. I was watching some of that game earlier today. Speaking of impressive, though, I mentioned it in our first segment of this intermission report. This game, these guys have got to be tired as can be after just one period of play. The playoffs take it up a notch, as we know, but they were, knocking the heck out of one another, and I anticipate that's going to go on as we move through the second and third periods of play here. We'll see if it gets a little more heated and hot and heavy. Will gloves be dropped? Who knows? There was a big moment when Chris Letang took the tripping penalty. Evgeny Malkin and Travis Sanheim were behind the play, punching each other in the face to no call. So that was interesting. We'll keep you up to date on all of that as well. When we come back, second period action, Joe Brand, Phil Bork, they'll have it for you next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
On No Shoes Radio, it's always summertime.
This is Kenny, and welcome to my world. You're going to hear moments on a beach.
Great night in Las Vegas. Had so much fun.
Amazing.
Live moments on stage.
And in the islands.
I love the sound of this island when it's raining.
Kenny Chesney's No Shoes Radio, Channel 59, and at home with SiriusXM on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
Of all the players who were drafted in 2019, which player has scored the most goals in the fewest games? Cole Caulfield. Size does matter. You don't want a team of 5'9" defensemen. But scoring goals is the hardest thing to do in sports. And Cole Caulfield scores a lot of goals.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
It's almost here. The Stanley Cup playoffs are coming. Big hits.
What a hit!
Big goals.
Harley shot. He scores!
Big saves.
That might be one of the top 10 saves of the season.
Get every unforgettable moment from puck drop to the final horn. Hear it your way with home and away calls. The Stanley Cup Playoffs.
McDavid scores!
Live on NHL Network Radio, Channel 91 in the car and on the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The biggest games in the world.
Ovechkin fires. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Neither team able to find the back of the net in the opening 20 minutes here in Pittsburgh. So we're set to begin period number 2, a scoreless hockey game. This first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. And a best-of-7 series between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Philadelphia Flyers. Philly out shooting the Penguins 9-5 in that opening period. And both teams getting one power play, neither team able to capitalize.
Okay, well, we had the baptism. We survived it. I'm really, really curious to see how the Penguins come out here in the second. You know, starting on the road sometimes is easier, Joe. You know, because you kind of have that bunker mentality. And here, Dan Muse is starting the Kindle line against the Couturier line, where, of course, he's going to start Sidney Crosby in number 1, but he's getting Sid away from Couturier early on here in the second.
Opening face-off to begin this second period is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club 1 Rewards. The Penguins now attacking from right to left in their alternate third gold sweaters. There's a backhand shot on Stuart Skinner. Goes wide of the net. Played up the near wall. Soderblom couldn't clear it. Couturier near point fires it towards the net. That goes wide as well. And Skinner in net. He made 9 saves in that first period. The Philadelphia Flyers attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters. Dan Vladar in net. Made 5 saves against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Connor Clifton up ice over the Penguins logo. Backhand flips it down to the Flyers end near corner. Short hops off the boards as it's played by Cam York. He'll clear it over to the far side and taken by Parker Wotherspoon. In behind Stuart Skinner's net. He'll slow down and then skate it up the near side of the Penguin zone. Get it up to center ice and then flip it down to the Flyers end. Rolls along the boards over to the far corner. Collected by Porter Martone. He'll reverse it up the near wall. Now stolen by Chinikov. Couldn't hang on to it. Far circle. Konechny finds it to Martone. He's over the Penguins line near side towards the net. Just went wide. Far point Sanheim will send it deep. Martone behind the net. Centering pass slowed down by a stick of Crosby's. Dvorak gets it to Sanheim. His wrister blocked. Taken by Erik Karlsson. Either Igor Chinikov got it to Russ. Little give and go. Chinikov near circle went for a centering pass to Crosby. But Sanheim closed it off. Sid trying to steal the puck back in behind Skinner's net. It's worked up the far wall. Penguins take it back. Chinikov high slot over to the far corner. Russell played off the wall. Chipped it over to the boards for Sid, who works it up to the point for Karlsson. Wrister blockered away. Loose puck in the slot. Flyers will get it over to the near side as Karlsson sweeps it back down to the corner, but now it's taken back by Philly. Up ice they come. Could have numbers, but they'll chip it down to the Penguins' end and get a change. It was a tired bunch. Everyone out there at least 63 seconds. As Sam Girard quickly gets the puck, sends it ahead to Ricard Raquel over the Flyers line. Philly takes it back the other way as Zegras cuts around. He fires and a save by Stuart Skinner.
Oh, big there. Partial breakaway by Zegras. Left-hand shot coming down the left side of the slot. And I believe that Stuart Skinner gave the 5-hole to Zegras. When he took it, then Skinner took it away.
10th save of the night for Stuart Skinner, his first of the second period. No score with 2.5 minutes gone in the second period. Chris Letang up ice, slows it down before getting to center ice. Chipped ahead to Novak in the Flyers zone. Sweeping pass over to Raquel. Couldn't get a clean pass off. Now taken back the other way by Philly. Dumped all the way down to the Penguins' end. Skinner out of his net to stop it. He'll slow it down at the corner. Ryan Shea surveys it up to Malkin. Backhand swats it down to the Flyers' end near corner. Cam York gets pummeled into the boards by Blake Lizotte. Worked along the near boards. Lizotte got it to Shea. Now to Clifton. Far point. Wrister deflected wide. Well wide. It's played off the near wall by Lizotte. He'll spin it deep. It gets pitched back up the near wall. Shea down that board again. Over to the far corner it rolls. Clifton races it down, worked up the wall. Malkin keeps it onside, prevented Michkov from a breakaway. Now he keeps it away from Michkov, but turns it over. Noah Cates over the Penguins line, 2-on-1. He'll fire, fought off by Stuart Skinner with a blocker save.
Malkin can not turn that puck over. Those blue lines are so important. Clear-cut turnover by Evgeny Malkin, and another huge save by Stuart Skinner.
He's bailed out the Penguins in back-to-back fashion to keep this game scoreless. Almost 4 minutes gone in the second. Still no score. Ryan Shea in behind Skinner's net. Meanwhile, Mantha and Clifton just collided with each other in front of the Penguins' net. Now Shea gets it ahead to Clifton, who sends it ahead to Soderblom. He's over the Flyers line, muscles his way along the near boards, keeps hold of it, lays it off the wall and sends it deep. Kindle, far corner, pitches it up. Carlson, tough angle shot. It got slowed down, rather blocked by one of the Flyers. Now Kindle a blast high and wide of the net. Rebound to the near point. Wotherspoon whiffed on the keep in. It goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. Skinner plays it, sweeps it to the corner, and Wotherspoon able to keep it away from Couturier. Up ahead to Soderblom, carries it to center ice, flutters it down to the Flyers' end, tumbling on Vladar. He'll make the glove save and he'll hang on to it to freeze it. 4.5 minutes gone in the second, still no score. The Penguins being outshot 11-5. Two huge saves by Stuart Skinner.
I wonder if they're going to get that up to 12. I think it was 2 shots right here. 2 big saves.
It was, but they took one away from Philly from the first.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I beg your pardon. So the Flyers were stuck on 9 shots for a while there. And I correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but I think their 9th shot of that first period was the one that popped the buckle on Stuart Skinner.
I think
they had
right.
gone probably 5, 6, maybe 7 minutes to finish off the first period without a shot on goal.
Sid wins the draw as Chinakov's shot goes off the shin pad of Denver Barkey all the way down to the Penguins' end. Girard fetches it. Gets it to Letang. He went for a cross-ice pass. It didn't find its way to Chinikov, but he's still able to poke it over towards the Flyers zone. Now Rust is it. Leaves it back for Crosby. Far half wall. Back down to Rust. Curls over to the near side. Flips it up to the point for Girard. Girard with a dipsy-do around Konechny. Couldn't get it past to Chinikov. It's a turnover for the Flyers. They'll take it into the Penguin zone. Poked away by Letang. Now Chinikov ahead to Rust in the Flyers zone. Far circle. Centering pass goes off the skate of one of the Philly defenders. Worked up the near wall by the Flyers. Konechny near side of the neutral zone. Lost it to Sam Girard. And the Penguins will reset in their own zone.
Penguins are really lucky that there's something besides a 0 up in that board right now after those 2 blatant turnovers early on here in the second period.
Fourth line out here for the Penguins right now is Stewart trying to bring it into the Flyers zone. He got stapled into the boards, and now it's turned over to Tippett. And the Flyers logo, he'll dump it down to the Penguins' end. Played off the end wall by Wotherspoon. It's sent into the boards by Zegras.
Yeah, Dewar just tried to hit Tippett, and Tippett dipped his shoulder down and popped Dewar. Now Dewar's hurt, and he's in a lot of pain as he gets to the Penguins bench, and he's going to go down the whistle here for an offside. Is he going to go in the room? He's doubled over. Playoff hockey, man. If you think you can just kind of go 80% into a guy, guess what? He's coming back at you 100%. And we've seen that a couple times from the Flyers early on here in the first period, where the Penguins have gone in not 100%. When you go in to lock horns with somebody, you better be ready to lock horns. And I think that Dewar felt like he had Tippett lined up and was just going to kind of pop him. No, man, you got to crack his sternum. And instead, it was Tippett that saw him at the last second and dropped the boom on Dewar.
Dewar was about to head down the tunnel, but he just stayed there right past the bench for a while, being looked at by one of the trainers, and then sat back down on the bench. 14 minutes to go in the second period. We've still got no score from Pittsburgh. Ricard Raquel with a heavy hit on Cam York along the end boards. The Penguins try to keep hold of it in the Flyers zone. It's chipped over to the near point. Corralled down by Malkin. Left it for Novak. He's in the circle. Down to the corner. Tough angle shot. And Vladar may have gotten a piece of it. It steered wide up and out of play. And will send us to our first break of the second. No score. Less than 14 to play in the second period. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America? is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins. 13:48 left in this second period, and we're still scoreless. Flyers out shooting the Penguins right now, 11 of 5. We'll get a face-off in Philly's zone to the right of Dan Vladar.
Well, both goaltenders have, in my eyes, been the best players from each team. Vladar's made some big saves, and Stuart Skinner's made more big saves.
Stuart Skinner with good numbers career-wise against the Philadelphia Flyers during the regular season. 5-1-2 in 8 games with a .245 goals against average and .913 save percentage. Obviously the first time facing them in the playoffs as Mantha from the near point fires one on net. Deflected a little bit, but still gloved out of there by Dan Vladar. 13:43 to go in this second. We're scoreless.
Dan Vladar started his career with the Boston Bruins, a third-round pick. Guy down to my right, Stuart Skinner, also a third-round pick of the Edmonton Oilers. Vladar from Boston to Calgary. And Calgary made it a kind of a three-man net, if you will. He brought in Devin Cooley, Dustin Wolf, and Dan Vladar. And Vladar was the UFA, and he was kind of the odd man out.
Wrister by Carlson, blockered out of there by Vladar, who ended up putting together a career year this season with Philly. Here's Couturier towards the Penguins net, fires and fought off by Skinner, or maybe high of the net.
Boy, Parker Wotherspoon's got to be a lot better there on Couturier. Couturier just fended him off at the blue line, got positioning on Wotherspoon, and that's a really good chance there by the Flyers.
Elmer Soderblom just collided into Jamie Drysdale along the end boards. Flyers work it out of their zone, but Crosby's got it. He'll send it to Clifton. 13 minutes to go in this second. We're scoreless from Pittsburgh. Crosby over the Flyers line. He finds Russ. Far circle. Fired, and a blocker save from Vladar.
Huge rebound off that blocker. No Penguin there.
Pitched out to the neutral zone. It's taken by Christian Dvorak. He'll backhand fork it down to the Penguins' end near corner. Skinner plays it off the boards. Works it back up the near wall. Dvorak angled it out towards the slot on a stick of Konechny. Konechny dancing at the corner, sends it up to the point. Ristolainen over to Sanheim, far point, fired it wide of the net. Slowed down in behind the cage as Chinakhov will rim it up the near wall, but first to get there is Dvorak of the Flyers. Back in behind Skinner's net. It's raced down by Chinakhov. He gets it ahead to Brian Russ, carries it to the neutral zone, works his way past Konechny. He's in the Flyers zone, downstairs, and a pad save from Dan Vladar. Second attempt from Chinakhov didn't get through. The Flyers will take it the other way. And now it's kicked out back to Chinakhov. He's in the Flyers zone. Tried to feed it to Russ. Couldn't. Now he does, and he can't finish off the shot.
That first attempt by Chinakhov finds the stick of Brian Russ. Brian Russ is in all by himself. But by the time it came back to Chinakhov and he tried the second time to Russ, the Flyers were able to get back.
There's Lazat with a shot on net. Saved by Vladar. Dewar's got it. Far side. He'll dance at the corner. Flip it off the end boards to Letang. Near side at the circle. Wrister sticked away by Vladar. Forster's got it. Stretch pass ahead. He finds Tippett on a breakaway. Fired. Stopped by Skinner. Taken the other way by Girard. He gets it to Lazat. Drop back pass to Dewar. Cutting through. Circle. Drag. Fires. Didn't get all of it. Taken away by Zegras. He'll take it up ice near side. Backhand shovel it to the neutral zone. It's worked over to the far wall. Nolachari sends Forster into the boards with a shoulder. And a diving check from Dewar, trying to pry the puck free along the far boards. It's still dug after. Finally taken by Dewar, who lost his footing. Flyers will take it the other way. It's Zegras in the Penguins zone to Forster at the circle. Down to the corner as he gets pushed into the boards. Taken back by Forster. Defended by Girard. Now to Zegras. Near corner. Up top to Michkov. Walks the line. Fires. Deflected. It's over to the near corner. Now played over. Below the goal line to the far side. Swept up. Barkey off the bench. He's got it far circled. The corner leaves it for Zegras. Zegras down at the goal line. In behind the net to the near side. Flips it up top. It's Drysdale. Rister. They score. Deflected in front, and it looks like all of Denver Barkey's presence allowed Jamie Drysdale's wrister to get through, and the Philadelphia Flyers strike first. 10:41 to go in the second period. It's 1-0 Philly.
Well, when you give up this many chances, eventually one's going to go in. And you're right. Zegras, before Zegras gets the puck, it comes around the net and feeds it to Drysdale. Barkey was in front. Sam Girard was in front with Barkey, but he didn't move him out. You got to get underneath him. You got to move him out in front of your goaltender. You can't just stand next to him and be another layer of screen. But before even that happened, there was two big puck battles that were won by the Flyers with their physicality, knocking the Penguins off the puck, and then eventually getting it to Drysdale. His shot finds a hole, coming in from the right point. 1-0 Flyers.
This will be icing by Philly as the Flyers score the first goal on their 14th shot of the night. And again, coming after Stuart. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Joe.
Just coming after Stuart Skinner made two miraculous saves, stopping two breakaways by the Flyers.
Yeah, I just saw the hole that they found. It was the 5-hole. As Stuart Skinner was looking to his left to make sure he took care of the short side. Players, especially right-hand shot, loves to go short side from that angle. So he looked to his left, and just then the puck came 5-hole. And Drysdale not picking a spot, just throwing it at the net with traffic, and it finds a hole.
10 minutes to go in the second period. We're halfway through this hockey game, and Philly leads 1-0. As the Flyers get it all the way down to the Penguins' end, this will be icing. 9:57 to go in the second.
Well, building the future takes grit, and no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Face off to the right of Ladar, and the Flyers send it up the near wall. Letang kept it alive at the point, but now it's taken back by Cates. Cam York will flip it down to the Penguins' end. Tumbles over to the corner in behind Skinner's net as he leaves it for Chris Letang. Letang over to Carlson, far side of the neutral zone. Worked over the Flyers line. Chinikov races after it, cuts through the slot. Pass too hot for Brian Rust. He'll shuffle it off the end boards to the far side for Crosby. Swept up to the far point. Now Shea with a wrister deflected. It tumbles to the far circle, and taken out was Sidney Crosby by Sanheim, and now Brian Rust comes after Sanheim, as it originally was a penalty on Philly.
Flyers are going to start punching guys in the face, hoping the Penguins retaliate to even it up. This is playoff hockey at its finest. Original call on Sanheim, and now the Flyers are trying to suck in the Penguins to be undisciplined.
So Sanheim's being escorted to the box, and as soon as he gets in there, the official races over back to the circle. But the Penguins will get a power play when we come back. They trail 1-0 with 9:22 to go.
It's interference.
You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's WrestleMania week, and SiriusXM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 is getting you ready for the Squared Circle's biggest event.
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of pro wrestling.
Hear in-depth breakdowns of the matches.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, the biggest clash in years.
Join the daily conversation.
There were things that Pat McAfee said in the ring on Friday night that I was completely shocked that he said.
It's WrestleMania week on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Did it ever cross your mind saying, like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process?
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but it's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
Perfect fit. Penguins trail by 1, but they'll get back on the power play here with 9:22 to go in the second period. It's 1-0 Philadelphia. Travis Sanheim in the box for interference, and the Penguins are back on the man advantage.
Just from my experience of playoff hockey, that and now they're going to bring this faceoff outside. Again, Penguins defenseman went down below the top of the circles when all that was going on after the Sanheim penalty was called. That's why the faceoff's coming outside here. But the Penguins in their first go-round on the power play, they passed up some shots that they could have just thrown into the feet of Dan Vladar, looking for something better. Something better doesn't always come your way. Take what is given, and it's a simple shot of getting it low and hard in the feet of Vladar. Take that, but then go get the rebound and get your nose dirty.
Again, the Penguins nearly succeeded on 40% of their power plays against Philly during the regular season. Couturier with the Steelies in the Penguin zone. A backhand shot is blocked by Crosby. Puck to the far corner of the Penguins' end. And now it's finally kicked out, taken by Erik Karlsson. 27 seconds gone on the Penguins' power play. Now they get it into the Flyers' zone for the first time, and they're offside.
Oh, boy.
1:24 to go on the Penguins' power play. 1-0 Philly, 8:46 to go in the second.
Well, in the first period, the Flyers had 20 hits to the Penguins' 11. Penguins had 7 giveaways to the Flyers' 2. So who's come readier to play playoff hockey? So far, it's been the Flyers. And now a little sloppy here on your second power play. The Penguins got to get their act together pretty quick here. Just 1-0.
Another face-off in the neutral zone that Crosby won, chipped it all the way down to the Penguins' end. Right now, Karlsson made a U-turn away from Forster. Penguins still have yet to go into the Flyers' zone. We're reaching into the final minute of the power play. Russ gets it over the Flyers' line, chipped it down to the near corner. Are they offside again?
Offside again. My goodness gracious. Yeah, Dan Hughes, with 1:03 left here, he might just take the number 1 unit off the ice. Yeah, he's got. I've seen enough. The number 1 unit just does not have it right now. And they got to have a little chit-chat. They got to sit next to each other and figure this thing out, because right now it's 5 individuals playing 5 different power plays. They are not playing together.
63 seconds on the Penguins' power play. We'll get our third face-off from the near left dot as Novak swept it over to the wall, and the Penguins finally get it into the Flyers' zone. They're offside again. There was a stretch pass from Letang to Kindle, but he went too quick.
Yeah, the Penguins going to argue it. That's always an interesting call for a linesman. So Ben Kindle takes the pass. It's behind him. He's backing into the Flyers' zone, goes across the blue line. As he does, his stick is over the puck. To me, that's still control. You don't have to have the puck on your stick. There was no Flyer within 10, 12 feet of Kindle. He just had his stick over the puck. I felt like it was control. And that's a weird one right there, because if there's a goal scored, then if it's called onside, is it then called offside?
The Penguins finally get it into the Flyers' zone. 50 seconds to go on their power play. Chinakhov at the point will spin it around the boards. It rolls over to the far wall for Novak. At the half wall, he reverses it. And now it's cranked out by Philly all the way down to the Penguins' end. Skinner stopping it behind his net. He leaves it for Letang, who sends it along the near boards. Ristolainen's got it, Penguins zone, and luckily the Flyers are offside now. 31 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. 1-0, the Flyers lead with less than 8 to play in the second.
Now, this is a good play here by Dan Muse. Get the number one guys right back out there again. They got the message without any words being spoken. You take them off the ice early. That's obviously, you guys are not good enough right now. But because of that offside right there, it gives Dan Muse a chance to get the number one unit right back out there again with 30 seconds left on this power play.
Crosby wins the draw. Carlson will drop it back to Raquel. He's in the neutral zone with a drop back pass to Crosby over the Flyers line. Back to Raquel, near circle to Malkin. Sends it to the corner for Raquel. To Malkin at the half wall. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Malkin up to Carlson. High slot. Down to Sid. Far circle. Up to Carlson. Back to Sid. Far point. Downstairs Malkin. 3 seconds to go. Tried to find Russ. Couldn't. Stretched out to the neutral zone. Carlson settles it down as Sanheim's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5.
That was a pass by Evgeny Malkin to absolutely no one at all. And he's lucky. Another second there. Sanheim would have come out of the box and been on a clear-cut breakaway because of that turnover.
Penguins back in the Flyers zone as Gerard rips a wrister off the boot of Sanheim over to the far wall. It's worked out to the Penguins zone as Gerard will settle it down. 7 minutes to go in the second period. It's 1-0 Philly. Gerard up ice to center ice. Drops it back to Chris Letang. Back to Gerard over the Flyers line. Sends it around the boards to the far corner. Couturier couldn't hold it at the half wall. Lizotte chipped it up to Letang. He keeps it onside. Snaps a pass to Gerard. Wrister deflected. Bounced over to the far circle.
Yeah, the Chari right between the two fives.
To Letang at the far point. Pumps one to the near corner. Played off the wall by Lizotte. He'll backhand it up to Gerard at the point. Worked around Zegras, and it just got over the blue line. Penguins are offside.
Sloppy. Penguins are sloppy, and I'm putting it nicely. They've got to get connected. They got to get on the same page here. It's not from a lack of effort. It's not from a lack of work or want or will. It's all there, except that they are not playing smart hockey. They're more reactionary to the physical part of the game. They got to figure this out really quick, just down the goal.
We'll get another face-off at the near left dot, just by the McDonald's logo. Kindle to take the draw, and it gets its way over to Soderblom, who sends it down into the Flyers' end. Worked up the far wall. It's taken by Clifton. The half boards, he tried to send it deep, but it went right to Sanheim. Flyers take it the other way. Martone out to the neutral zone. Kicked away by Kindle, but now it's taken by Mantha on an errant pass. Now his pass gets taken down by Martone. He'll dump it down to the Penguins' end. Skinner stops it in behind his net. Felt some pressure, had to send it ahead quickly. Mantha through the neutral zone. Stretch pass to Kindle over the Flyers line. Stops at the point. Defended by Andre. Kicks it down to the corner as it rolls in behind the net. And played up by Philly again. But Shea keeps it onside. Near point. Sends it off the near corner. Rolls to the far one. Soderblom boxed out Andre for the puck, but it's taken by the Flyers. Martone skates over the Penguins logo. Feeds it to the far side for Dvorak. He'll send it wide of the net. Took a weird bounce off the shelf. Tumbled to Dvorak, who took a shoulder from Clifton. Kindle with the loose puck, but had some trouble with it. He does escape it to Clifton, who gets it back to Kindle. 5.5 to play in the second period. Still 1-0 Philly. It's a tired bunch out there for the Penguins. They need a change. Now Shea will stretch it over to a well-rested Chinikov over the Flyers line, but he quickly got closed in 2-on-1. Now the Flyers with some speed. Here's Cates, Penguin zone, near circle, swept out of there by Wotherspoon.
It's an odd man break again from another Penguins turnover right at the blue line. Ay.
Denver Barkey, far side, flipped it up Sanheim. Quick shot, wide of the net, played over to the near corner as Michkov takes a hard shoulder from the captain, Crosby. Played ahead of the neutral zone. It's Russ. Flips it down to the Flyers' end near corner. Chinikov racing after it. Ristolainen gets there first. Crosby tapped it over to the far side. Muscles it past Sanheim up the wall. And now it's poked ahead to Carlson. Glides along the blue line. Got it to Russ. Far point. He'll sling it down the boards. Crosby in behind Vladar's net. Fighting for the puck against Sanheim. We've got 4:35 to go in the second. Russ taps it up to Wotherspoon, near point, high slot to Carlson, far point, wrister deflected just wide of the net.
Monster shift here by the Penguins. What a shift by the Crosby line.
Still down by one as Carlson pumps one, didn't get all of it, slowed down by the Flyers, worked over to the near wall, Novak keeps it alive, curls around to the high slot, it's Letang, shoveled over, far circle, Raquel, Flyers defied by Vladar, tumble to the circle, Malkin scores! To Evgeny Malkin to find the loose puck and rip it past Vladar to tie the game at 1.
That's how you manufacture offense. That goal by Evgeny Malkin, who, by the way, had just jumped on the ice from the bench, was all created by the Crosby line, and in particular, the captain, Sidney Crosby. You mentioned the big hit he had in the defensive zone. Then he beats Michkov up the ice. Then he puts the work boots on. Then he really goes to work down low. Monster shift by Sid, and Gino was the recipient of that monster shift by picking up a loose puck, firing at 5-hole on Vladar, and we're tied at 1.
Less than 4 to play in the second period, and Evgeny Malkin has woken up. PPG Paints Arena. Kicked out to the neutral zone.
Big shift right here. You've got some mo. You got to keep it because you know there's going to be a pushback from Philly.
And the fourth line is out there as Dewar sends it down to the corner. Lizotte races it down, got it to the far side. Drysdale takes a hard shoulder from Dewar. Worked up the wall as Dewar got closed off in the Penguins zone. Letang will flip it back into the Flyers end near corner.
That's how you do it. Connor Dewar knew the moment right there. He delivered 2 monster hits without taking a penalty to try to keep the mo going for the Penguins.
3:15 to go in the second. We're tied up at 1. Tumbling puck to the neutral zone, a diving Luke Glendening got it down to the far corner of the Penguins end as Letang tries to work it up the wall. It goes out to center ice and down into the Flyers end, raced down by Nick Seeler. Seeler in behind Vladar's net, sends it to the near side for Andre. As now it's Malkin tied up with Seeler in behind the Flyers net, and Seeler throws a cross check on Malkin.
That's got to be an extra. It's got to be an extra. I think the original whistle was for both of them to go. There's no way you can let Nick Seeler skate with the extra.
They've got both doors open and the red light on. Evgeny Malkin skating to the box, and so is...
No, Sealer's going to get a freebie here. Right? I mean, Chris Rooney is 7 feet away from this, and Seeler gives a cross-check to Evgeny Malkin. Now, does Malkin tilt his head back? Yeah, he does. But it's a clear-cut cross-check by Seeler, and I don't think they're going to call it. Ay. Ridiculous.
We'll get things squared away when we come back. But Malkin does tie the game up at 1. 2:49 to go in the second on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Want to rack up some points? Join #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at club1rewards.cochrane.com. #1 Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Well, nothing ended up being called before the break, so we skate on 5-on-5 with 2:49 to go in the second, a 1-1 tie in this hockey game.
Small observation, but made me giggle, and now we got some pushing and shoving between Evgeny Malkin. And is that Forrester? Now they're all coming after Malkin. You know, during that whole broadcast timeout, Evgeny Malkin, after the little bit of a thing he had with Seeler, went over and stood, well, not stood, but he was leaning over on the shin guards right in front of the Flyers bench with his butt up against the boards right in front of Rick Tocchet and the rest of the Flyers. That whole minute and a half or however long our break was, Gina was right there. And as the Flyers came over the boards, they just started cross-checking him. And again, no calls at all.
Well, and the Flyers on their bench were trying to say to the refs something that Malkin did, I think. But again, we play on. 2.5 to play in the second period. It's tied at 1. Jamie Drysdale had the first goal for Philly. Malkin tied things up for the Penguins late in this second. Erik Karlsson takes it over the Flyers line, forks it down to the corner as Russ plays it off the end board. Shoveled it up to Crosby at the half wall, back down along the end boards. Played over to the far wall as Chinakhov races it down. He'll reverse it. Russ tried to slow it down, lost his stick while doing so. Crosby sent one of the Flyers into the boards, but it gets worked up the near wall. Philly works it out to the neutral zone. Sam Girard keeps it away. Under 2 to play in this second. Tied up at 1. Game 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Sam Girard in the Flyers zone. Dashing down to the near corner. Centering pass goes all the way to the far half wall for Letang. He'll spin it deep to Kindle in behind Philly's net. Works it up the far side at the circle to the high slot now. Gets it over to Girard above the circle. One-timer never got through. A blast from Mantha found Elmer Soderblom.
Hurt him.
And now he turns it over to Tippett. Luckily, he couldn't clear it. Letang sends it deep. Soderblom skates back to the bench on 1 foot. It's worked over to the near side. Kindle tried to sweep it up to the slot. Couldn't, but Novak's got it. High slot, drags. Will fire it back over to Girardi and loads it back. It slams off of Tippett. Near corner Kindle, and we get a whistle blown here.
Yeah, there's a penalty here on Mantha. As Mantha and Ristolainen were tied up in front of the net. And Mantha, he ripped the helmet off of Ristolainen. And I believe he's going to get a cross-checking call here. And with 1:12 left in the second period in a 1-1 game, Anthony Mantha.
Pittsburgh, number 39, junior minor, cross-checker.
Who was tied up with Ristolainen. Ristolainen got bent over at the waist. And it wasn't a Nick Sealer cross-check, but still a cross-check in behind the head of Ristolainen, and then knocked his helmet off. So there, the evidence is there to make it look worse than it actually was. But to me, that's just two players really battling in front of the net. I don't think there's a call there if the helmet doesn't come off of Ristolainen, because the two of them were just cross-checking the living daylights out of each other, and the referee was just letting it go, boys being boys.
So now the Penguins shorthanded. 1:12 to go in this second period. They win the draw. Parker Wotherspoon pumps it around the boards and clears it down. Final minute of this second period. Philly was held to just 1 shot on goal on their last power play. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play so far, so this is Philly's second. Martone over the Penguins line at the point. Pass goes off Wotherspoon's skate, and Blake Lizotte will chuck it down to the Flyers' end. 40 seconds left in the second. Tied at 1. Penguins shorthanded. Drysdale up ice. In the neutral zone, he drops it back to Martone. Skates over the Penguins logo. Brings it to the far side. Shovels it down to the corner. Karlsson plays it off the boards. He'll clear it down.
So smart, Erik Karlsson, using those great wheels to get to the loose puck and then double shoulder check and said, wait a minute, I got lots of time here. I'm going to really rip this thing down 200. He did just that.
As Connor Dewar just took out Trevor Zegras, who went into the Penguin zone. They clear it down. Achari fighting for the puck, but it's kicked away by Dvorak. 7 seconds to go in the period. Penguins shorthanded. We're tied at 1. It's Michkov over to Dvorak. Penguin zone. Backhand shot kicked out by Skinner, and that will end the second period. The Penguins will be shorthanded for the first 48 seconds of the third, but a good start to this PK. And a good answer by Evgeny Malkin to tie the game up at 1. Through 40 here in Pittsburgh. It's a 1-1 score.
Oh, much better second period. Not only get a goal by Malkin, but just passing the eye test. The Penguins they're still in that B game right now. They're not at the A game yet. The goaltender's at his game. Stuart Skinner. Thank goodness for that. But that shift by Evgeny Malkin really turned this game right now, because right after that you got the goal by Evgeny Malkin after the Crosby line shift, and you feel like you've got a little bit of mo here, and now you have this awesome crowd really into this. It's going to be one heck of a third period.
And Evgeny Malkin's 23rd playoff game against the Philadelphia Flyers. He picks up his 14th career goal. against them in the postseason. We're tied at 1 through 2 periods. Brian Metzer just popped in. He'll have the second intermission report for us, along with a chat with the old 2-9er. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, "Shoot it" from the cheap seats, and scream, "Ref, you suck," like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Kelly's Riverside Saloon has 350 Labatt Blue bottles during all Penguins games.
Glassmere Fuel Service is hiring CDL fuel delivery drivers. We're building a new starting lineup in Altoona, plus hiring new drivers in Latrobe and Tarentum. Call 800-235-9054 or apply today at glassmerefuel.com.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dog by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com or an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our second intermission report, where the Penguins and Flyers are now tied at 1 after 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena. Brian Metzer back here with you in this intermission report for Game 1 of the Battle of PA. And we got our first goals of the period, of course. And it was Trevor Zegras, Noah Cates, and Owen Tippett all having glowing scoring opportunities to start this second period of play. 2 of them came down the wing and put the shot on goal. Owen Tippett had a breakaway, and Stuart Skinner was on top of those, made some really outstanding saves. He sadly was beaten for everybody in this building. They weren't thrilled with it when Jamie Drysdale got his first of the playoffs. Trevor Zegras found him on the just above the right wing faceoff dot, fed him a pass, and he hit the far side at 9:19 to give the Flyers a 1-0 lead in this hockey game. Moments later, at 10:38, Travis Sanheim was called for pulling down Sidney Crosby. Penguins went to work on a power play, weren't able to score on that, but shortly thereafter, they would get their first goal of the game when Evgeny Malkin scored his first of the playoffs from Tommy Novak and Ricard Raquel. Raquel threw a shot to the goal, and you had Dan Vladar. It was going, looked like maybe towards the side of the net, and he kicked it out into an area where it went right past Novak, where it must have grazed him a little bit. Gino gets the rebound, puts it in through the 5-hole to tie this game up. He had a dust-up with Nick Seeler, and it resulted in him getting a cross-check in the arm right at the elbow. He looked very uncomfortable, so hopefully Gino is okay after that situation, and it got a little crazy again with everything going on in terms of physicality. Flyers ended up with 20 shots in the period. They had 12 after 1, 32 after 2. Penguins hit total jumped to 27, so that is a lot of physicality, as we talked about. And right now you have Anthony Mantha went to the box at 18:48 for cross-checking. That is going to carry over. Pens will have to kill that. Shots on goal in the period, 7-5 in favor of the Flyers, and they're out shooting the Pens 16-10. When we come back, Hockey Talk with Phil Bork on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's hockey night in Pittsburgh, starring a lineup of Ford MVPs here to take on the ice.
The Bronco family and Explorer putting a twist on the classics. And the Mach-E, can I just say, it's electrifying.
Absolutely, blink and you'll miss the Ford Mustang.
And the Ready for Anything F-Series, best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh.
Wow, I'd hate to go up against this team.
Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bork. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Pens and Flyers knotted at 1 after 2 in Pittsburgh. Brian Metzer here with you, and now joined by the old 2-9er Phil Bork, who is no stranger to the Battle of PA. Borky, it's great to be doing this with you in the playoffs again, first of all. And I would say every turn you're getting hit by somebody out here. 59 combined hits so far. Is it what you anticipated through 2 periods of play?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It has not disappointed. What has kind of disappointed is that who's initiating most of it.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say, if we're being honest, I think the bigger hits and more substantial hits have been initiated by the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm not saying the Penguins haven't had some licks. They have got some licks in. But I do like the pushback from the Penguins. I just wish that they were the ones initiating, not retaliating to the confrontations. And listen, it always starts off at one speed in game number 1, and then it kind of evens itself out. And especially now you got a third period at 1-1. You know, maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to, because one bad hit leads to a power play goal, could be game over, and that's how things go so quickly in the postseason. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all that it's got to where it is right now.
Well, to your point, it seemed like it took the Penguins a little bit to get into that aspect of the game, because they did pick it up in the second period, and the physicality was on full display. I've noticed them going after Chinakhov quite a bit. It seems like they've identified a couple guys that they know maybe haven't been here before and wanted to kind of rattle their cage a little bit.
Yeah, but they've also gone after Evgeny Malkin.
Yeah,
Are you surprised there?
No, no.
You got Todd Reardon, who coached them, and Rick Tocchet, that knows Evgeny Malkin probably better than Gino knows himself. Right? And they're trying to push that button because they know that button's there. Right? And no surprise there. They actually have gone over after Sid, and they've gone after Chris Letang. No surprise there. And if you're one of those guys, if you're surprised, you shouldn't be.
No.
That there's a bullseye on you. And it will be every game in this series. I can guarantee you that.
And I was going to ask you about Tocchet being behind the bench. He's played on both sides of this. He has a book on these guys. How big an influence can a guy like that have? Because he knows both teams so well, and especially the guys that they're going head-to-head against tonight.
Here's my I'll answer, and I'm not pointing it towards you or being confrontational in any way.
Oh, yeah.
What's the book?
Yeah.
The book?
I don't mean it like that, per se.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, there's no book.
Yeah.
You don't know. Listen, here's the
you
book on
mentioned him
Gino.
having he knew to press the buttons of Gino.
There's no book on guys. Gino has a hot head.
Yeah.
Gino has a switch.
Yep.
And our job from the Flyers is to find that switch and get him to melt down. Everybody's brother knows that in the National Hockey League about Evgeny Malkin. You know, and so there's no, he doesn't have any state secrets on Sid and Gino and Tanger and any of the guys that he's coached before. It's what we know about them too, and it's more about their strengths. That's, if anything, it's identifying their strengths and how can we take away some of their weapons that they have. I think that's more of it, is really knowing what gets them going. As far as maybe getting keep him off his backhand when he's down around this
how to
area.
defend,
Right?
maybe.
Little things
Yeah.
like that. But as far as having state secrets against any of the Penguins players, that I think is completely false.
Okay, and about 30 seconds left here. The thing that jumps out at me, Penguins not enough on Vladar. 17 shots blocked.
Yeah.
That's got to change.
Yeah, you got to get shots through. Never pass. You got to have a shooter's mentality.
Yep.
You have to be ready to shoot the puck before you get the puck. You have to be able to shift it just 8 inches one way to get that lane. And a lot of times it's the wrist shots. Get him on goal. He has given up a lot of big rebounds.
The goal came
and
off
the
one.
Penguins aren't there. For the most part, they're not there. Those rebounds will be there, but you got to have this. You got to get the guys to take that simple shot, because it's not the shot that scores; it's what happens after it when you've got skilled guys on the ice.
And there's been a lot of traffic in front of both nets, so that could work well. Borky, thank you for this, my friend. We'll do it Monday.
Sounds good, pal.
All right, that is the old 2-9er, Phil Bork. Great insight from him. Always tells it like it is. When we come back, news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back.
Come on, boys.
And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends. And see if you can predict this year's playoffs. Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2026-27 NHL event and an Adventure Chrono NHL Limited Edition watch by Norcane. Sign up today at nhl.com/bracket.
As the Pens face the Flyers, we're inviting fans to take this rivalry off the ice and into the community. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is hosting a Pittsburgh versus Philly fundraising challenge through the St. Jude Walks on October 3rd, with fans in both cities raising critical funds to help kids fighting cancer and other life-threatening diseases. Every dollar makes a difference, and families never receive a bill from St. Jude. Join the Pittsburgh team and support this great cause at stjude.org/walkpittsburgh.
What are two things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local Cat dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
Penguins and Flyers knotted at 1 after 2 periods of play at PPG Paints Arena on this opening affair between these two teams from the state of Pennsylvania. Brian Metzer here with you, and looking around at a couple of the other series. I mentioned the scores earlier. We'll just go through them quickly again for you. The earlier action today: the Hurricanes beat the Senators 2-0 to go up 1-0 in that series. The shutout was pitched by Freddie Anderson, and then the Minnesota Wild took care of the Dallas Stars in Dallas 6-1. Pretty impressive showing there. Matt Boldy had himself a big day, as did Kirill Kaprizov with a 3-point outing and a goal. So a goal and 2 assists there. Looking at Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, he is back with the team. He had taken that leave of absence to end the season. Well, he's not available right now, according to John Cooper, but he is back in and around the team. They would update us on everything, what's going on with him if he's going to get back. It just says he's slowly starting to get some ice time and stuff like that. And hopefully, and to get himself hopefully back is what he said. I've been here a long time. He trumps me, and he's seen it all. I think it's vital, and it's great. So Victor Hedman returning at some point during the playoffs would be a big deal for them, because we all know how dangerous that team can be with or without him. But having that big Swedish defenseman on the backside is something that would really be a great get to have him back in the fold for the Stanley Cup playoffs. So when we come back here, third period action, who's going to win it? Joe Brand and Phil Bork will let you know next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on SiriusXM as the Thunder try to fend off challengers for their crown.
Rainbow three is up and in at the
Thunder, Moneyball, Gildas Alexander, what can't he do?
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
The playoffs is what make legacies. This is how you build your name.
Listen to the hometown broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game. And when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken. Don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home. And it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Centers. Hockey comes alive. Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
With 4:09 left in the second period, Evgeny Malkin gave the shot in the arm that this building needed. He tied the game up at 1. That's still where we stand. However, as we begin the third period here from Pittsburgh, the Penguins are going to be shorthanded for the next 48 seconds. Anthony Mantha is in the box. And we're ready to begin the final 20 minutes of this first game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Penguins now attacking from left to right in their third gold sweaters. Philadelphia Flyers on the power play, attacking from right to left in their road whites.
When we talk about a shot in the arm, it doesn't look like Blake Lizotte has missed the last 16 games. He has been a buzzsaw out here, and especially on the power play, on the penalty kill against the Flyers power play, has been really disruptive.
Huge part of that penalty kill, huge part of that fourth line. His last game was March 14th against Utah. Here come the Flyers. Wrister and a glove save by Stuart Skinner to deny Christian Dvorak. 30 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Opening face-off to begin this third is brought to you by #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards.
We've had some monster hits in this game. We've had a lot of shenanigans after the whistle. Cross-checks, dirty gloves, the whole thing. But you wonder if it'll kind of be tempered here in the third period with so much on the line in a 1-1 game.
Penguins still being outshot by Philly 16-10 as the Penguins win the draw, and Erik Karlsson will crank it around the boards, get it down to the Flyers zone. Under 25 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. It's Rasmus Ristolainen chipping it over to the far side for Owen Tippett, who glides into the neutral zone, sends it ahead to Konechny in the Penguin zone, far corner. Didn't get a clean pass off. It's worked to the near corner for Dvorak. His pass taken away by Lizotte. He'll skate it up ice over the Flyers line, near side, taps it to Karlsson, and just wide on an attempt from Dewar. He chipped it over to the far side. Mantha's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. 1 minute gone in this third period, tied up at 1.
Boy, the Erik Karlsson flip on the nitrous oxide, and out of nowhere made that a 2-on-2, a 3-on-2 by jumping up on the play.
Flyers work it out of their zone, get it into the Penguins end. Shot from Konechny, slowed down by the Penguins back check. It's played by Sam Girard up along the near boards. Chinakhov tries to box the puck out into the neutral zone, but it gets sent back down to the Penguins end by Nick Seeler. Skinner stops it, leaves it in behind his net for Letang, who sends it up ahead to Girard. He'll turn away from Denver Barkey, and now it's sent all the way down to the Flyers end. Rolls along the boards to the far corner for Rust. He got the first touch, but Cates takes it the other way. Shovels it out to the neutral zone. Letang keeps it out of harm's way. Brings a pass ahead to Rust over the Flyers line. Couldn't handle it, though. Crosby slows down the puck in the near half wall and gets it around the boards to the far corner. Raced after by York. Takes a hard shoulder from Chinakhov. Rust has the puck. Will hammer it off the near boards. But the Flyers are able to tap it out to the neutral zone. It's worked into the Penguins' end. Collected by Letang. They'll work around Forrester. Send it up ahead to Ricard Raquel, who was looking to get it to Rust out of his reach. Now York in the Penguins' zone. Drop back pass to the near side for Hathaway. He'll take it in behind Skinner's net and muscle it up along the far wall.
Hathaway had his head down, and just at the last second he saw Clifton. As Clifton went for the, oh my goodness, I'm thinking, I'm not counting the row, 10 or 15 rows deep. Connor Clifton would have sent Hathaway if he didn't catch him at the last second with the eyeballs.
2.5 minutes gone in this third period. We're tied up at 1. Penguins being outshot 16-10. The puck is pinned along the boards right now, far side of the Penguin zone.
Konecny's stepping on the puck, and that's why nothing's moving right now.
Finally kicked out to the point. Andre fires it towards the net. Easy stick save for Skinner. And it's played by Clifton. Pass went off Zegras' skate. He races after the puck, but the Penguins take it away. And it's Malkin charging over the Flyers line. Curls around at the half wall. Feeds Clifton out of his reach near point. Still keeps it onside, though. Malkin kicks it to Soderblom, who cuts through, fires, shoulder save, loose puck, and it's saved by Vladar, swimming in his crease.
Oh, Elmer Soderblom. What a move that was. Great effort by Evgeny Malkin, a great effort by Connor Clifton. As Clifton started to come from at the right point, he wanted to give Gino an outlet, started moving towards the middle of the ice, and the pass came to his right. It came back to where he was. Great effort by Clifton to keep it in the zone. Eventually, Soderblom. Holy moly, what a move by the big guy to come in, wide base, hold the puck out to his side, fend off a Philadelphia Flyer, and go from backhand, forehand, and try to snap it 5-hole on Dan Vladar. That's a great play by Soderblom, just a better save by Vladar.
That's the exact type of play that earned him a spot in the lineup here in the playoff roster.
Well said.
Night number 1. And now Kindle to take the draw with Soderblom to his right. Flyers zone. And Soderblom muscling the puck. He'll wheel it down to the corner. Kindle trying to work around. It's taken by Mantha now. Chipped it along the end boards to Kindle. Far side. Whiffed on a pass up to the point. It's Shea. He'll send it deep. Off the end boards played by Mantha. Keeps it away from Couturier at the circle. Played it to Shea. He overskated it. Flyers work it out to the neutral zone, but the Penguins take it away. Soderblom will flip it back to Clifton. 3.5 minutes gone in the third period. We're tied up at 1. Penguins have never led. Jamie Drysdale had the first goal in the second period. Evgeny Malkin tied things up with just about 4 minutes to go. Ooh, Porter Martone just took a high stick from Anthony Mantha, and this is going to be a penalty.
Yeah, you can only hope it's 2. The puck got rimmed in by the Penguins. A hard dump along the yellow kickboard goes from near side to far side. And Anthony Mantha just wanted to lift the stick, pick the puck out of Martone's feet, and then get going. And he gets the stick right underneath the chin. Here's the call.
Pittsburgh, number 39. 2-minute minor. High sticking.
He's lucky. He's really lucky. That's only 2. And those are little things in the playoffs. You just got to be responsible. It's a detail thing. And when you're in a 1-1 game in the third period, it's a little detail thing that you just got to be better.
Second straight penalty for Mantha. The first one, cross-checking late in the second, was arguable. This one, not so much. The Penguins are shorthanded again. They're 2 for 2 so far tonight, allowing just 2 power play shots by the Flyers so far. Again, the Flyers power play, last in the NHL during the regular season. They gained some steam towards the end of the year, though, 25% over their last 11 games. Win the draw. Drysdale's got it in the slot, far circle. Was trying to set up Zegras, but the pass was a little bit offline. Flyers still with it, forced her to the far circle. Zegras, he cuts down to the goal line, had to collect the puck back, though. Sends it up top to Drysdale at the point. Above the near circle for Forster. Drysdale again, high slot to Forster, near point, down to the corner. Now back up to Forster, above the circle. Rister downstairs looking for Cates. Jumped off his skate. Blake Lazard will pump it ahead to Achari, who angles it down to the Flyer zone.
It's that same play that Konechny tried with Dvorak earlier on, where the bumper guy is just showing the stick and wants a redirect from the high slot.
Let's go Pens. They start to chant with 75 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Puck is in the Penguins zone, near corner. Martone chases it down. The rookie works it up the near wall to the high slot. Drysdale. Rister didn't get all of it. It went wide. Cates plays it off the end boards, works it to the far wall, tied up by Ryan Shea as Zegras kept it away from Letang. Drysdale, high slot, dances, fires, Rister, deflected, it's wide of the net. Dewar works it over to the corner, played up the wall to Zegras. He's above the circle, he'll drag and fire. It's blocked by Dewar, popped up in the air, pawed down by Drysdale, and it bounced in the Penguin zone. So a hand pass to stop things with 45 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. I've never seen a puck bounce that high on something like a hand pass. I mean, it jumped up about 5 or 6 feet in the air.
Yeah, the shot hit the top of the laces of Connor Dewar and went straight up in the air, and Drysdale had no other choice. He had to bat that down and batted it right to Noah Cates. And the faceoff will come outside the Penguins blue line with 45 seconds left on the Mantha minor.
The Flyers sling it down to the Penguin zone. Around the boards it goes to the far corner. Shea reverses it, got it to Letang. He worked it up the near wall, but Tippett's there waiting for it. The high slot, Ristolainen in a nice quick move to Michkov, far half wall. Michkov dancing along the boards, up at the point, now down to the circle. Circle to circle, Konechny trying to feed Dvorak. He didn't get a clean touch on it, went wide of the net. 20 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Flyers still with the Penguin zone. It's taken away by Lazat. He'll clear it down.
Oh, that's what I mean, disruptive. Michkov wanted to walk the line, and just one little hiccup by Michkov, and boom, Blake Lazat was all over him like white on rice, stripping him of the puck and getting it down 200.
Mantha standing up. He's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins are 3 for 3 on the kill tonight. Tied at 1. Flyers with it, though. Penguin zone near side of the cage. Worked up the wall. It's pushed up to the point. Sanheim's got it. He'll wrist one. Didn't get through traffic. In the slot. Taken down was Couturier. Rust will drag it out to the neutral zone. And Dewar can't get it over the Flyers line. Philly resets. Under 14 to play in this game. We're tied at 1 from Pittsburgh. Game 1 of a best-of-7 series, first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs between the Flyers and the Pens. Down into the neutral zone. Chinakhov whacked at it, but it bounced over his stick. Flyers resetting. Turn it over to center ice. Clifton, though, coughed it up. Noah Cates U-turns. Chips it down to the Penguins' end. On the near side and behind the Penguins' net. It's taken away by Crosby. Swept up the far side to Malkin. Now to Chinakhov, who will chip it down to the Flyers' end far corner. Races after it. Slams York into the boards. Worked along the far wall. Wotherspoon took out one of the Flyers to keep the puck away. But now it's taken back by Barkey, who took the brunt of that hit. 13 minutes to go in this game. Still tied at 1. Malkin hunting for the puck. Got it to Chinakhov. He tried to go for a pass back to Malkin, but he was down to a knee. Flyers collide with each other, but kick it out to the neutral zone. Wotherspoon will take it. Goes rink wide to Carlson. Flutters ahead into the Flyers zone. Knocked out of midair by Sealer. He'll skate in behind Vladar's net. Play it to the near side for Sanheim. He'll glide it up to the neutral zone. It tumbles down to the Penguins' end, and that'll be icing by the Flyers. Maybe a quick whistle there. 12:43 to go in this hockey game. We're tied at 1.
Well, when America needs a power play, EQT delivers. Fueling freedom, strengthening allies, and unleashing U.S. LNG, liquid natural gas from right here in Pittsburgh. EQT, unleashing America's energy future.
Penguins could use a power play. They haven't had one since the opening 2 minutes of the hockey game. Phillies had the last 3. There's been a couple of penalties called with 4-on-4, but we're going to go to a break here with 12:43 to go in the second. A 1-1 tie here from Pittsburgh in playoff game number 1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Whenever team drafts me, I'm grateful, whether it's the number 1 pick or whether it's 199th pick.
Dreams are about to become a reality for the stars of college football. And SiriusXM NFL Radio is your guide on the path to the 2026 draft.
There are no 2 draft boards the same.
Listen to interviews with all the prospects, coaches, and general managers.
We're just trying to find the right guys.
And hear every pick of the 2026 draft on NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A five-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
.12:43 to go in playoff game number 1. Penguins and Flyers are tied up at 1. Philly with a shots on goal advantage of 17-12 so far.
The Flyers going heavy on their top 4 defensemen. Nick Seeler's only played 12 minutes, and Emil Andre has only played 8 minutes.
Travis Sanheim paired up with Rasmus Ristolainen, and Sanheim, one of the 3 Philadelphia Flyers who were on the roster the last time Philly was in the playoffs. With Konechny and Couturier being the other. Here's Tippett, Penguin zone, near circle, ripped a quick shot, and Skinner got just a piece of it. Rimmed along the far boards, sent him behind the net. Letang will scoop it up and work it up the far wall again. Rust cleared it out to the neutral zone, but it's knocked down by Ristolainen. Zegras over the Penguins line, got it to Ristolainen, near corner. Centering pass went off the skate of maybe Brian Rust. Now the Penguins take it the other way. Girard over the Flyers line, far side, left it back for Chinakhov. His pass knocked out by Zegras, raced after in the Penguin zone, but Chris Letang cuts it off. Zegras has the puck, centering pass, luckily went wide of Sanheim.
What a play by Chris Letang there. 38-year-old Chris Letang. He just caught Trevor Zegras, who looked like he was on a clear-cut breakaway, and Letang was at least 30 feet behind Zegras, and he caught him and eliminated that chance.
Still tied at 1 with 11:40 to go in this game. Ricard Raquel, near side of the neutral zone, slings it down and around the Flyers' boards to the far wall. Hathaway kicks it down to the Penguins' end. This will be icing. A little under 11.5 to play in this game. We're still tied at 1.
Well, Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot, it's a whopper. $140 million. Yeah, that's the estimated annuity, $140 million for the Mega Millions. Don't forget to play at your local retailer or online. Pennsylvania lottery proceeds. It benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. You got to be 18 or older, and please play responsibly.
You could buy a lot of whoppers with that. But we're Big Mac people over here.
Sorry.
Penguins and Flyers tied up at 1. 11.5 to play in this game. It's chipped out to the neutral zone. Ryan Shea collects in his own end. And then behind Skinner's net, worked up to Carlson. He sends it up to Tommy Novak, who got it to Malkin near point, shoveled it deep to the corner. Drysdale rims it around the board. Shea tried to send it deep from the far half wall, got tied up by Michkov. He gets taken down to the ice. Shea still sitting there on the ice as it's worked up to the point. Now kicked away by Barkey, trying to create a turnover in the Penguin zone. Far circle fired, stuffed out by Skinner.
Oh, another bad turnover by Evgeny Malkin. Barkey off to the races, and another huge save by Stuart Skinner. Holy moly, boys.
Under 11 to play in this game. Penguins and Flyers tied up in 1. Malkin's intended cross-ice pass goes off one of the Flyers' skates. Philly works it out to the neutral zone. Dvorak works it over the Penguins line, but Malkin will sweep it out of harm's way to Letang. Now up to Soderblom in the neutral zone. Chipped off the near boards. Kindle chases after it. Near corner. Trying to work around one of the Flyers. That was Andre in the corner. Now it's played up to the far wall. Sent rink wide. Nick Seeler will play it off the boards. Tap it out to the neutral zone. Konechny sends it ahead in the Penguin zone. Martone finds Seeler, rather Dvorak, near corner. He'll swing it up the boards to the far point. The Sanheim in the high slot. Cuts towards the circle. In the slot. Fired. They score. Travis Sanheim with an off-balance shot in the middle of the slot. Ripped it to the far side of Stuart Skinner's net, and exactly halfway through this third period, the Flyers grab the lead once again. It's 2-1 Philly.
Anything fancy here?
Nope.
Nope. There's a lot of good work by the Flyers. Sanheim gets the puck at the left point, and he sees that Soderblom is flat-footed and reaching. So Sanheim, who's got some pretty good hands for a defenseman, goes forehand, backhand around Soderblom, high slot, traffic in front, just a little flick of the wrist shot, goes over the left glove hand of Stuart Skinner, and the Flyers have their lead back. It's now 2-1.
The Flyers getting both their goals from defensemen.
Yeah, you know what? And Sam Girard is there in front again. It's Porter Matrone is right in front of Stuart Skinner. And Sam Girard is standing there. I don't understand why Sam Girard doesn't move him out from in front and allow your goaltender to, if he can see that shot, he can make that save. No doubt about it. But with traffic in front, it made it almost impossible.
2-1 Flyers with less than 10 to play. Parker Wotherspoon with a heavy hit on Owen Tippett, and then Nola Chari sends Sam Heim into the boards, but the Flyers still have it. Penguin zone off the end boards. It's played by Wotherspoon far side. Looking for a stretch pass to Achari, but just too many people in front. Wotherspoon will slow it down in the neutral zone. Slides it down to the near side for Carlson. Both teams get a change here. 9:10 to play in this hockey game. 2-1 Philly. Penguins being outshot 19-12 as it's sent down to the Flyers' end. Philly takes it back, sent ahead of the neutral zone into the Penguins' end. Carlson gets it to Rust. Turned it over to the neutral zone. Kicked out to the Penguins' end. Pitched over to the wall. Crosby sweeps it over to Carlson. Backhanded up to Ryan Shea. Now out to center ice. Crosby tied up. Rather, Chinakhov got tied up with Hathaway as it's flipped down to the Flyers' end near corner. Drysdale fetches it off the end boards, works it up the wall. It tumbles to the near point. Ryan Shea from the neutral zone tries to keep it away, but he gets pinned into the boards. Couturier digging after it. It's right at the feet of Shea and Glendening as Couturier still tied up with Brian Rust. And now it's worked over to Novak. He's got it in the Flyers zone near half wall. Will bring it down to the corner towards the net. Tries to crash, and he got tied up by one of the Flyers. Couldn't take the puck with him. Out to the neutral zone it goes and dumped back into the Penguins' end. 8 minutes to go in this hockey game. Penguins down 2-1. Sam Girard up ice. Finds it to Malkin. He's over the Flyers line in the near circle. Cuts in behind the net. Backhanded tough angle shot hit the side of the cage. And a heavy hit from Konechny on Tommy Novak. Flyers work it out of their zone again. Dvorak over the Penguins logo. Now over the Penguins line. Feeds it to Martone at the corner. Turnaround shot. Sticked out of there by Skinner. Konechny handles the rebound at the circle. His centering pass taken away by Novak. Kicked out to the neutral zone. And Malkin can't get there in time before Andre does. Porter Martone swings it around the boards. Mantha collects at the far corner with 7.5 to play in this game. Penguins down by 1. Letang goes rink wide to Soderblom. Gets it over the Flyers line. Sends it deep and behind the net. Sealer took a hard check from Mantha. It's pitched back down to the corner. Mantha up top to nobody. Flyers will take it back the other way. Michkov will flip it down to the Penguins' end. Puck sputtering on edge to the far side of Skinner. Wotherspoon kept it away. Got it up to Mantha. He'll work it out to center ice as it's tapped back, but Mantha will take it away. He cuts through the neutral zone. Got stripped of the puck from Cates. Had to work it back to Wotherspoon, who stretched it up to Soderblom. Chips and chases down to the near corner with under 7 to play in this game. Penguins down 2-1. Up along the near boards, Barkey finds it to Cates. He skates through the near side of the neutral zone, chips it down to the Penguins' end. Skinner in behind his net. He leaves it for Parker Wotherspoon. 6:45 to go in this game. Penguins down 2-1. Rust over the Flyers line, finds Crosby. Wrister, glove saved by Dan Vladar. It stays 2-1 Philly with 6:36 to go in this hockey game. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Well, the Penguins are down by 1 once again. And the clock is starting to tick. 6:36 to go in this game. 2-1 Philly. Well, a face-off to the right of Dan Vladar. Penguins being outshot 19-14.
The Penguins have a couple players. Anthony Mantha led the team in goals, no shots. Igor Chinikov, pure goal scorer, no shots. And the Penguins as a team, here were 6:36 left in regulation, 14 as a team. Got to be better.
Penguins win the draw, but they turn it over. Couturier will send it out of play. His dump in got deflected. 6:26 to go in this game. 2-1 Philly leads.
Want some birthdays?
Let's do it.
Mika Zibanejad, 33. Stephen Johns, Pittsburgh native, 34. Cody McCormick, 43. Scott Hartnell, 44. Dan LaCouture, 49. Dan Kordic, 55. Oleg Petrov, 55. Frankie LaRue, Francois LaRue, 56. Valerie Kamensky, 60. And former Bruin, Whaler, King, Al Sims, 73. Happy birthday, boys.
Happy birthday, boys. This will be icing by the Penguins. 6:20 to go in this game. 2-1 Philly leads. Well, tomorrow is Ben Kindle's 19th birthday, his golden birthday. Penguins rookie.
Let's see what he did there. He's born on the 19th, and he's going to turn 19.
Golden birthday. It's a big day for some
teenagers. Porter Matron, also 19. Couple teenagers in this match here tonight.
Those Martone and Barkey both providing the net front presence on both of the Philadelphia Flyers goals. Again, it was two defensemen that were credited and scored the goals. Lone goal from the Penguins coming from Evgeny Malkin in the second. 2-1 Philly. 6:20 to go in this game. We'll get a face-off to the right of Stuart Skinner in the Penguin zone. Zegras against Ricard Raquel, and Raquel wins it. It spun around the far wall. Novak trying to keep it out in the neutral zone as a dump in by the Flyers goes off of Connor Clifton. Malkin races down the loose puck. Got it to Clifton. He'll send it ahead to Parker Wotherspoon as Novak from the neutral zone finds Malkin. Backhand chip down into the Flyers' end. Tumbled wide of the net of Vladar. Scooped up by York. Far side. He plays keep away off the end boards. Got it to Drysdale in behind the net. Worked up the far wall all the way to tip it at the point. Takes it over the line, but turned it right over to Erik Karlsson. Under 6 to play here in regulation. Penguins are down by a goal. It's Sidney Crosby dumping it down to the Flyers' end. Rolls over to the far corner. Just tied up Dvorak. As Chinikov chipped after it along the far wall, Wotherspoon will send it deep. And behind the net for Chinikov. Worked around Sealer, but turned over the puck. Konechny's got it near side. He'll chip it down into the Penguins' end. Wotherspoon handles the bouncing puck and spits it up to the neutral zone. Russ got it, takes it the other way, taps it over to the Flyers' end, rolls in behind Vladar's net. Over to the near corners. It's played up the wall. Past Carlson. It goes down to the neutral zone. Wotherspoon will fetch it. Reaching into the 5-minute mark. So we reach the Big Mac attack. If the Penguins score in the final 5 minutes of a game this year, you win a free Big Mac. Offer is valid 3 days after the Penguins score in the Big Mac attack. Just download your McDonald's app and claim your free Big Mac with a purchase of $1 or more. Sam Girard can't handle the pass up at the far point. It goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. 4:45 to go in this game. Penguins down by 1. Sam Girard now taking it over the Flyers line near side. Turned on the burners, brought it to the far circle, stopped on a dime, centering pass. It jumped over the net and off the end boards as it's worked up to the point. Letang keeps it alive. Shuttled it to Girard. He tried to sweep it back in, but he was tied up by Cates. The Flyers poke it out into the Penguin zone. 4:20 to go in this hockey game. Penguins down 2-1 to the Philadelphia Flyers. Their lone goal from Evgeny Malkin at the 4:09 mark of the second period. We're now reaching that much time left here in the hockey game. Down into the Flyers zone it goes, in behind Vladar's net. Slowed down by Ristolainen, pumps it up the near wall. Couturier tried to stop it at the point, got interrupted by Shea. It's worked out to the Penguins zone. Connor Clifton races it down. Takes it in behind Skinner's net, works it up the far side. Gets past, but took a hard hit from Sean Couturier back into the Flyers zone, but Philly takes it the other way. Sanheim from center ice will sling it down to the Penguins' end. 3:43 to go in this game. Malkin cruising into the neutral zone, blows past Zegras and lost the puck. Chipped it back. But now the Flyers do take it away. It's Forster, Penguins zone, ripped the shot wide of the net. Lazat plays the long rebound off the end boards. Got it up ahead to Wotherspoon, and will tap it back to Girard with 3:20 to go in this game. Still 2-1 Philly. Wotherspoon springs it up ahead to the neutral zone. Dewar tried to chuck it into the Flyers' end. It's kicked back out by Philly. Dumped back down to the Penguins' end. Skinner will play it. We'll keep an eye on him. 3:05 to go in the game. Penguins down 2-1. It's Lazat over the Flyers line. Backhand forks it down to the corner. Rolls in behind Vladar's net. Lazat with a hard check on Ristolainen, but the puck still worked over to the far side. Poked away by Dewar. Now it's taken by Ristolainen, though. Plays it off the end boards to Sanheim. They'll play keep away from Achari with under 3 minutes to go.
I think Dan Muse is waiting for 2.5. If the Penguins get it in the offensive zone, he's going to take out Skinner.
Now
extra attacker.
Martone races it in the Penguin zone, dancing around the far circle, and he scores. The 19-year-old rookie rips a wrister over Stuart Skinner, and the Philadelphia Flyers grab a 3-1 lead over the Penguins with 2:37 to go.
Well, never mind about pulling Skinner with 2.5 to go. You didn't even get to there. But Martone comes down on Noel Achari. And when he hit the brakes, Achari went past Martone. So that allowed Martone at the dot to the left of Stuart Skinner. It's called time and space, right? You give that guy the time and space and not right in his hip pocket. He was able to pick the corner as Skinner went down a little bit early, and Martone went short side, glove side, underneath the crossbar to make it 3-1 Flyers.
Porter Martone with 4 goals in his first NHL season. All 4 of those goals came in his last 6 games. His first career NHL goal was an overtime winner. As Stuart Skinner has left, Penguins have an empty net, 6-on-5. They trail 3-1 now. Puck is in the Penguin zone. It's taken by Carlson. He'll leave it back for Letang, who works it up to Crosby in the neutral zone. Dumps it right on net. That Vladar stops and tried to not freeze it, but he did.
Yeah, too long.
2:08 to go in this game. Penguins are down by 2.
Yeah, there was a hesitation there by Vladar, and the referee was not going to wait for Vladar to make a different decision and blew it down.
So we'll go to a break as the Penguins need to mount a 2-goal comeback with 2:08 left. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, what the heck is wrong with this thing? Welcome to Morgan Wallen Radio. What's happening now? Morgan Wallen Radio. Morgan Wallen what?
My very own channel, Morgan Wallen Radio, is on right now. Channel 64.
I guess I'm the problem. This I gotta hear.
It's pretty cool that I get to hopefully have an impact on somebody else being in charge of this station.
Morgan Wallen Radio, Channel 64, and in the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now, passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes. Did it ever cross your mind saying, like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process?
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91. Move.
Two goals by the Philadelphia Flyers in this third period has them ahead 3-1 over the Penguins. 2:08 to go. Empty net for the Pens right now. So 6-on-5 in the Flyers zone. Face off to the right of Dan Vladar. It'll be the two captains, Sean Couturier against Sidney Crosby. And the Flyers control. They'll rim it around the boards. It tumbles down to the Penguins' end. And that'll be icing with 2:03 to go. Penguins down by 2.
Call me crazy, but you've got Rust, Raquel, Crosby, Malkin, Carlson, and Letang out here. I don't understand why Chinakov's not out here. He's the guy with the gun. He's the guy with the rocket. I don't think you need to have two defensemen out here when you're down 2 goals. Just a thought.
I'm with you. Penguins control. Up to the near point, it's Carlson. Down to the half wall for Malkin. Carlson again will send it deep. Rolls along the end boards. Over to the far corner, out of the reach of Rust. Hathaway keeps it away, chips it up, not out. And now it's Crosby in the circle. Worked it over to the wall. The far point for Letang. To Carlson, high slot. To Malkin near circle. Up to Carlson. One-timer pad save, Vladar.
Huge rebound. No Penguin there again. How many times has Vladar kicked the puck out right out to the slot, Joe? No Penguin there.
Pens dump it back into the Flyers' end with 1:25 to go in this game. 3-1 Philly leads. Fight for the puck at the near point. It's tied up along the boards right now, which is just fine for the Flyers. Luke Glendening keeping it along the boards as Crosby and Sanheim throw a couple of cross checks and then a slash from Crosby there.
Go. Now they're both going to go. And now Ristolainen comes in, and this is Sid. This is what captains do, like Sidney Crosby. He was not going to take another cross check from Sanheim as there was a rugby scrum. Here's the call. Then my comments.
6 Philly, 2 minutes cross-checking, 87 Pittsburgh, 2 minutes slashing.
So while there was a rugby scrum going down just below us, 20 feet inside the blue line, Sanheim once, twice, said enough. I gave it back to Sanheim. Finally, they just started two-handing each other. But Sid kind of looks around like, is somebody else going to jump? No, I'll just do it myself. Penguins going to use their timeout. But I don't like that trade-off. Down 2 goals.
Yeah.
Sanheim for Crosby.
So it looks like Mantha is replacing Crosby.
I'll tell you, don't get me wrong. Sid was no choir boy there. But they were both going after each other. And if you're getting your money's worth, that's the way you do it right there.
So with 69 seconds to go in this game, the Penguins need 2 goals. With 2 guys, 1 in each box, it'll be a 5-on-4 with the Penguins having the empty net. They're going to have Noel Acciari take this draw. Brian Rust to his left, Malkin to his right, Raquel and Carlson out there.
And still, no Igor Chinakhov. Down 2 goals.
Face off to the left of Vladar. It tumbles out to the high circle, taken by Carlson. He'll get it to Malkin above that near circle. Wrister coming, deflected, they score! Brian Rust! At the low part of the slot, he fires it past Vladar, and the Penguins still have life. It's 3-2 Philly with 61 seconds to go.
That's what I've been begging for all night. Just throw it at the net, make something happen. And Malkin saw that there was traffic in front. It hits off the glove, I believe, of Cam York. Bounces right to Brian Rust, and he rips it from about 18 feet away and beats Vladar to the glove side. This would be as Penguini-like a comeback as I've ever seen. You might want to buckle up here, folks, for the last minute.
We've seen crazier things happen this year and in this building.
There goes Skinner.
As Carlson sends a stretch pass ahead to Raquel. He's in the Flyer zone, but chips it down to the corner. Raced after by Cates. Worked along the boards. We've got 43 seconds to go. Up along the far wall. Dvorak races it down, chips it down to the Penguins' end. Not far enough for icing as Carlson taps it up to Raquel at center ice. 35 seconds to go in this game. Penguins down by 1 with the empty net. Carlson chips it down to the corner. Off the corner boards in front of the slot. Ristolainen tried to clear it. Couldn't get it past Mantha. 24 seconds to go. Raquel at the far point. Shoveled it above the far circle. Now flipped over to the near side. No one's there. It goes out to the neutral zone. Penguins have to reset.
I have no idea what Evgeny Malkin was thinking there. Erik Karlsson went to the net. Malkin throws it back to the point where Karlsson was.
Now Carlson keeps it onside. Malkin far circle. Downstairs. Mantha backhand stuffed out by Vladar. 2 seconds to go. And there's the horn. A last-second effort from the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it ends up being too little, too late. Dan Vladar with the biggest save of the night in the final few seconds to hang on to this winner for Philadelphia. A 3-2 winner for the Flyers. They take Game 1.
Well, what an opportunity it was for Anthony Mantha. Left-hand shot to the right of Vladar, all by himself. They just opened up the doors and said, walk it in there. He tries to go forehand, backhand on the ice, 5-hole. And Vladar just had his stick down. Nothing fancy there, just had his stick down. I don't know if Mantha maybe could have elevated that puck. He was getting a little pressure from Ristolainen, who was trying to collapse down low. He just tried to shoehorn it in the 5-hole, and Vladar shut it down on Mantha.
So the Philadelphia Flyers, who were a very good road team this year, take Game 1 of this playoff series on the road. 3-2 the final. In Game 2, in 2 nights here in Pittsburgh, will be an opportunity for the Penguins to try and tie things up. Now this one goes to the black and orange. We'll take a break. Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer will start the post-game conversation up before Borky and I wrap up a few more things here from PPG Paints Arena. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team, because doing what's right for our planet is vital work, best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
We're the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're going to flip the script. We have the pen. We're going to write our own story, man.
We are going to write our own story.
All those people.
Who's the author of that story?
We are.
We are.
We are. SchultzFord.com.
Yes, sir. And this is the evidence of what happens when you have a team, Phil.
And do you know what we're going to say when we do it? One inventory, 4 locations. West Mifflin, Harmarville.
Oh, that sounds like a commercial, Phil.
SchultzFord.com. SchultzFord.com.
When you're craving a savory snack that's energy boosting, nitrate free, high in protein, and full of flavor, you want the original Mr. Donair beef jerky. High quality protein, finest U.S. beef cuts, nitrate free, premium meat snacks, power play performance. Mr. Donair, proud to be the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
The Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge presented by Expedia is back.
Come on, boys.
And now it's time to take your shot. Face off against family and friends. And see if you can predict this year's playoffs. Can you pick the perfect bracket and claim the ultimate prize? A trip to a 2026-27 NHL event and an Adventure Chrono NHL Limited Edition watch by Norcane. Sign up today at nhl.com/bracket.
This is the Rivers Casino Penguins Live postgame show. Here are your hosts, Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer.
Well, it's a tough night for the Penguins. First period, the Flyers basically outplayed them. Stu Skinner had to really hold the fort until the Penguins were finally able to get on the board, but they weren't able to do that before the Flyers were. And it was just a night where you felt like the Penguins were chasing. Yeah, they were even with them for a while there, but Mets side, I just felt like the Flyers had the better of the play most of the night with the really good scoring opportunities.
I would say that in the early going especially, the Penguins weren't up to maybe the snuff in terms of the physical aspect of this. The Flyers really brought it early on. They blocked a lot of shots. The Penguins needed to get more through, I think, than they did. Only 17 shots wasn't going to be enough. And to your point, the Flyers did have a ton of great scoring opportunities. Stuart Skinner had to make a bunch of really quality saves right at the beginning of the second period. You and I were just talking with Jared about it, when we were talking what we were going to play on the show. Zegras comes in. He had to make a save on him coming down the wing. Noah Cates coming down the wing. Owen Tippett on a breakaway. He had to stop that. And that was kind of the story of the game. They kept getting chance after chance after chance. They finally break through. Penguins able to equalize, but not enough, and not enough offense generated.
And I basically feared that they would get behind the Penguins' defense quite a bit, try to do that. Yep. They certainly did that tonight, whether that was by design or just some organic thing. Either way, they had a lot of golden scoring opportunities off the rush like that. Let's go back to Joe and Phil.
Thanks, guys. And yeah, Borky, I'm with them. It just felt like the Flyers got off to the better start, and the Penguins were chasing this game for the majority of it. The closest they got was Evgeny Malkin tying up the game in the second. The Penguins never had a lead, and Philly just made it very difficult for them to kind of gain any momentum, but the Penguins didn't do themselves any favors either.
And I think early on, the Flyers dictated the terms physically, and the Penguins were reacting to what the Flyers were doing. And your first playoff game, a home game in 4 years, and 17 shots on goal, and you are reacting to what the Flyers are doing in your barn, it wasn't the Penguins' best. Way too many turnovers. Stuart Skinner made some unbelievable saves on either partial breakaways or clear-cut breakaways from just flagrant turnovers that, just should not happen from some of the more skilled Penguin players. With that being said, you get that goal by Malkin after that incredible shift by Crosby. It felt like you righted the ship a bit, but, the Penguins they did. I hate to say it. It sounds like tough love, but I'll say it anyways. You almost feel like the Penguins got what they deserved. They didn't deserve to win this game. And if they did win it somehow, some way, we'd be saying right here, the Penguins put the ski mask on. And they stole one here tonight, and mostly because of their goaltender. But the game is so damn honest. And when you don't play it the right way, it'll bite you up the backside like it did here tonight.
Well, like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Anthony Mantha and Igor Chinikov have combined one shot on goal, and that was Mantha's last attempt of the game.
9 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, not good enough.
What do you have for a play of the game? It's sponsored by Rivers Casino.
I got to give it to Porter Matrone for his goal. It came late in the third period. And the score was 2-1 at the time. And you felt like, okay, there's still time here. Okay, we can just even it up and let's go to bonus hockey and try to get it in overtime. But Porter Matrone came down the right side, left-hand shot. It was kind of a one-on-one situation. Noel Acciari, a forward, kind of in a defensive posture, almost like a defenseman. And Matrone drove Acciari back where he was able to hit the brakes right about at the dot to the left of Stuart Skinner. And I watched again on the replay, and the way Acciari was kind of late to stop, so he kind of slid past Matrone, and then also he started skating towards the middle of the ice away from Matrone. And just a great shot. I think he shoots it between the legs of Noel Acciari. Stuart Skinner went down a little bit early. Matrone goes upstairs, short side, glove side, under the bar, and that goal by Porter Matrone is good enough for my play of the game.
Our 3 stars are now brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Here we go, Joe. Your 3rd star with the Penguins forward, Evgeny Malkin, who had a 1+1